This video is sponsored by War Thunder. Arguably the greatest Bannerlord full conversion mod recently got updated and added a new archer class to the game that has some crazy cool abilities like piercing multiple targets with each shot. In order to get access to these abilities, we need Renown, which is quite a grind, and I'm going to put timestamps below to where we unlock different tiers of abilities to try them out. We're also going to do one of the most grindy challenges I've ever done in any game, conquer the entire world map as we're at war with every faction, and no allying any faction at any point. This means that early game we cannot enter any towns to do any trading or find companions, and late game once we do capture a town, every single faction is going to have it out for us and they're going to try to retake that town. Why are we at war with every faction, you may ask? Well, aside from it being an interesting challenge, we drank the forbidden elixir of 3 times skill rates, and now everybody that grinded thousands of hours to get high level hates us. His journey begins with character options that mainly avoided melee skill, as the Waywatcher is a range class. All the other skills would probably have some use, except probably guns. Normally we'd probably start out by heading to this nearby elvish town to buy some extra arrows and a horse, but even his own race, the elves, hates skill rate abusers. We can, however, buy a horse at this nearby village. Even though we're at war with their faction, we can still trade with their villages. And we'll buy their most expensive one that we have riding skill for, which is the Hunter. And it's actually not much worse than the Charger. It has the same speed. It's much better than the Palfrey in terms of its maneuver. And maneuver is really good for a horse archer. The rest of these horses are pack animals, so their speed is trash. But we will buy one to increase our party's carrying capacity. We'll head over this direction, where I believe there's an outlaw hideout somewhere. So there's a few groups of outlaws in this area. And we got this one with only 13 outlaws. Now that we have the overpowered horse plus bow composition, as we did start with a bow, this would normally be a pretty easy fight, but we cannot use this bow on horseback. So I'm going to kite these guys over to a village, and because we're fighting near a village, there's a bunch of buildings that we can jump onto, and the AI is too stupid to jump, so we're able to just unload into them. We do only have 20 arrows, so we're going to have to do all headshots here. This bow does one shot. That was not a one shot. And that was not a one shot either. I think those guys were too close. From that distance, it's a one shot. That was not. That guy has no helmet, so he's one shotted. That's not good. Our horse dips. Sad enough. I did forget, as we do damage and we kill, this ability, Arrow of Kurnos, recharges. And once it gets to full charge, we can unleash it on these guys. I think we might have just missed. Oh, that's unfortunate. We only have 5 arrows left. We might actually be able to do this. And the last guy's gonna flee. Very nice. Well, our horse dipped, so we probably can't run him down. Since we soloed that battle, we do get more renown. 3 is quite a bit for killing those crappy outlaws. And we do capture 2 outlaws that we will probably end up recruiting to our party. We also do get some loot, and we get our first helmet. It does look like we're already wearing a helmet, but that's because of our guard cape, which does provide some head armor. Their captain did escape, but we are able to run him down, and we did get a little bit more XP for killing him. Off of just those 2 fights, we're already up to level 6 because we're leveling at a 3 times rate. And one cool thing about my level up mod is it gives us a focus point and an attribute point every level up. Normally you get 1 attribute point every 3 level ups, I believe. The mod also uncaps the amount of focus points you can put into a skill. So we can actually put all 6 focus points in the bow skill. So we're now leveling it at a 15 times rate. And we can increase that rate even more by putting all of our attribute points into control. As we're getting more bow skill, we're also getting more bow damage and accuracy, and we're unlocking perks. For our first perk, there's not much choice here. Dead aim is the obvious one. And then we can pick a scouting perk. The nighttime one is just more effective, so we'll go for that one. Another bonus to leveling up is we're getting career points that we can only spend on the scout tree right now because we don't have enough renown to unlock the other ones. We're going to put 2 points into each of these trees for now, and we can remove them later and put points into other trees if we want to. But I think these bonuses are pretty good to start with. Once per day we can go on a hunt, and this is just a passive effect that scales off of our scouting and range weapon skill. If it does work, then randomly it will just put meat and furs into our inventory. We also get 20% range damage resist, and then in the Pathfinder tree we get increased spotting range and 1 increased movement speed. The next level up I was thinking about doing the snow perk because that seems really overpowered if you want to hunt in the snow. Then finally we get 10% more range damage and 3 extra arrows per quiver. I kited another group of outlaws to a village, did the cheese method again, and nevertheless this time. Plus we're doing more headshot damage, so every arrow is a kill on these guys with their crappy helmets. For winning that, we did get a little bit more renown. Plus we captured an outlaw that we can add to our prisoners, and we can now recruit one. Doing that is gonna for some reason lower our movement speed by 1 though. It's faster to drag the prisoners around against their will than have them move with us by choice. These outlaws do have pretty bad stats, and they only upgrade to the outlaw captain, which does have a shield, but overall we don't care too much about these guys. The main thing is as we recruit and lead bandit troops, we get roguery XP. I believe we just got 7 for recruiting that bandit troop, which is not much. We can increase the amount we get by putting attribute points in a cunning though, and I like the idea of doing this because it's boosting our roguery, tactics, and scouting XP, whereas if we put attribute points into control, we're only increasing our bow XP. We're probably never going to use crossbows or throwing. We will still keep putting focus points in the bow skill though, because I want to max this out as quickly as we can, and once we get to dead shot, we start getting more damage with bows and extra reload speed based on our bow skill. So the goal with this run is to get as much bow skill as we can. We also got another perk, and again, there's really no option here. 10% armor pen is the only way to go, I would say. Then we got an athletics perk. I think the HP is the obvious one. Plus a career perk, so we now travel unhindered through the snow. To get some more arrows and maybe a bow that we can use on horseback, I thought we'd try our luck in the forest, where forest bandits usually hang out. And sure enough, we run into this group which has 7 range units. We kite them over to this nearby village, and this fight is at night, so you can't see much. I'll bump up the brightness a little bit so you can see something. Yeah, that's much better. Anyways, so yeah, I did the cheese method again, jumped on the roof, and again, the melee guys are easy pickings. Their range guys will be here soon though, so we gotta be quick about this. And what is that collision on the roof? There's clearly no roof there. Ah, crap, we're getting shot at. The archers must be close. I don't see them anywhere though. Maybe we can finish the melee guys off and then retreat. An arrow just flew by me. I wonder where that's coming from. Oh wait, here they are. Did I just see them pull out their melee weapons? Yeah, they did. The AI is so dumb that it thinks we're in melee range. Ah, crap, they got smart. I guess the AI is listening to what I'm saying. Let's try to get some cover. Well, I guess the AI did not get smart. They decided to flee. Off of that battle, we got almost 3 renown, and we did capture one of their range units. As for loot, I'm not seeing any bows or arrows, unfortunately. But whoa, legendary rough fur armor. That thing is way better than what we're using. We'll definitely be putting that on. The last 3 archers that got away still think they're stronger than us, so they chase us back into the village. If you have cover, archers on their own are actually pretty easy to deal with. If they had melee guys rushing us as well, it'd be a different story. Just a little headshot. That was an arm shot. And very nice. We captured another hood. And did we get any of their arrows? We did. They have 27 stack amount. Our arrows we were using only had 20. Very nice. We kited another group of these archer bandits into a village. And this village has a pretty cool layout. There's this mine thing over here. And I'm able to get on top of it. And then I'm just going to try to bow these guys. Hit them before they can hit me. Probably should... Whoa. Okay. Chill. Every time I do get hit, the damage is reduced by 20%. These guys are just charging straight at me. Yes. They should just camp below me. And yeah, I just heard them pull out their melee weapons. Beautiful. But yeah, there's a sweet spot where if I stand right here, they'll start moving away from the roof. If I don't stand there, then they just clump up right under the roof. I think they're swinging at... Okay. Dude, this AI, man. This has gotta be worse than Warband AI, right? I don't remember Warband AI being this abusable. Like, out of all my thousands of hours I put in that game, I don't think I've ever had a situation like this. I was able to cheese it to this magnitude. Got a good angle over here. Oh yeah. Then they're fleeing. Very nice. I might be able to run them down with the horse. Nope, my horse dipped. We did manage to kill all but one of them, and off of that we got 3 renown. And we did get a hunting bow. which I believe is usable in horseback. Okay, we're in business. We got some more arrows, which are not actually better than bent arrows. That's strange. These gloves are better than using no gloves though. Off of that, we did get another level up, another focus point in a bows, another attribute point in a cunning, and we did get another bow perk. There's really not much option here. Rapid fire is just so much better than quick adjustments, I think. And then we got another career point. We don't care too much about this stuff, except if we put 3 points into it. We can use Arrow of Kurnos from the very start of the battle. The accuracy penalty would be nice on horseback, I believe, as well. But then I'm thinking if we put 1 more point in Pathfinder, range damage is shrugged off. I wonder what that means. And we can also buff Arrow of Kurnos to scale with our scouting. That seems like the way to go. We'll put 1 more point, so range damage is now shrugged off. And then I wasn't saying that we cared too much about Forest Stalker. Well, now that we have a bow that we can finally use on horseback, I don't mind engaging these outlaws in an open field. Before we do engage the outlaws, how about we engage some enemy vehicles in War Thunder, which is now available for free on PC, consoles, and mobile devices. Take command of over 2,500 tanks, planes, helicopters, and ships of 10 major nations, ranging from biplanes and armored cars of the 1920s to the modern fighter jets and battle tanks used today. Do you want to pimp out your ride? War Thunder offers tons of customization options with camo, or you can just straight up get goofy with it. Don't care what anyone thinks? Let them know. Eat your enemies alive by turning into a literal flying shark. War Thunder offers 3 different game modes: Arcade, which gives you fast-paced matches with enhanced vehicle performance and simpler physics, while Simulator is for those seeking an extreme challenge. Realistic is the perfect middle ground if you want a balance of both, and however you choose to play, you will find it here. War Thunder is heavily optimized, so don't worry about lag even if you're running on a literal potato, and you can do it all with just a mouse and keyboard. Join the community of over 70 million players today by using my link below and get a massive bonus pack which includes multiple premium vehicles like the Eagle of Valor, 100k Silver Lions, and 7 days of a premium account, all available for PC and console. Well, now that we have a bow that we can finally use on horseback, I don't mind engaging these outlaws in an open field. We don't need to use the village cheese method anymore. We can use the bow on horseback cheese method, which is very cheesy when the enemy has no ranged weapons and no cavalry. Now, if they did have cavalry, this would be a totally different story. But as it is, we are just free to farm bow skill and riding skill off these guys. We are finally able to get riding skill. For defeating the bandits, we get a couple renown, plus we captured another outlaw, and we got some upgrades on our gloves. The bandit troops are slowing us down, so we're going to train them up on this group of villagers, which I think we're going to get overrun here, and our troops are going to get knocked out or killed, but so be it. We're going to be able to recruit a lot of bandits later, and these bandits aren't that good anyways. They're probably our higher tier bandits we can find. So yeah, we'll just let them run in and fight. We do have 1 archer among the group, and our outlaws are getting killed. I think everyone actually got killed there. In Warband, your troops had a pretty good survival chance, even if you had no medicine, from what I remember. Maybe I'm misremembering. Because all our troops died, we'll also start getting more renown. We only got 1.7 from that. We do a few more battles and managed to capture some more bandits. We now have an outlaw captain, 2 hoods, and 2 outlaws in our party. I also took 1 point out of Forest Stalker, so we lose the 20% range resist, but Protector of the Woods is now maxed out, so we can use our arrow ability at the very start of a battle. We also picked up this blessing buff that gives us 15% movement speed and 10% attack speed, and the way we got that is we created a shrine in the Elvish lands, and it gave us that buff plus quite a bit of faith XP. We're now hopefully strong enough to take on this Beastman Warband, which has 9 prisoners and potentially some really good Elvish units among their prisoners. So the plan here is our units are going to distract, and then I'm going to get in their back line and try to take out their archers. Any of their archers shooting at me? Yeah, there's like 1. This is pretty good though. Let's use our ability on those guys. I'm not sure if that did any damage. I'm seeing our units are getting taken out. It's not good. We already got 1 raider though. Out of 6, I think. Pretty sure they have 6. Oh, this is not good though. We're gonna start getting hit by those bowmen pretty soon here, right? I would imagine. Well, if they get in a group of all their melee dudes, that could be good. Because they can't shoot at us effectively. Let's get like right up next to them, I think. Kite the melee dudes towards the archers and like impede their line of fire. I don't know how that hit, by the way. This is what kind of working. I don't know how they're not hitting me. Another one down, very nice. And another one, that was a headshot, I think. Whoa, how are these guys not hitting me? Headshot. One left. Imagine this guy headshots me and just one taps me. Come on, let me hit you. 50 damage. There we go. Okay. The rest of these guys should be easy pickings. These are beastmen. You can tell they still have the derpy Bannerlord face though, which is just kind of weird. I don't know what these guys are doing with the shields. They're not protecting their body at all. They really don't want to get a headshot though. They got the memo that we're pumping out 180 damage headshots. And yeah, their strategy is just protect the head at all costs. So don't blame them. It's smart for a beastman. It's supposed to be kind of low IQ. I would think getting hit in the stomach when you have no stomach protection would also hurt quite bad. But I guess not. I think a stomach shot is the same as a leg shot. Leg shot actually does more damage. That makes no sense. I guess they technically have less leg armor, even though it looks like their legs are much more protected than their stomach. Off of that battle, we only get 7 renown, and I'm thinking I actually might install a mod to boost the renown we get, because this is really grindy. We did manage to capture some of them, but we cannot take their prisoners. Wait, what? Yeah, apparently it's a special feature with this mod where you cannot hire prisoners of factions you're at war with. I kind of understand that decision, but personally I'm in favor of the chaos that it brings when you have elvish troops running around with a few orcs in their party. I think that's kind of funny. Well, that's pretty lame. Off of that, we do get a bunch of shields, some more arrows, a bunch of food, and some shoulder pads that are not an upgrade for sure. I was pretty bummed out about not being able to rescue those elves, but I found a way around that restriction, and as you can see, we have a Master Trader tier 5 unit, which is melee unfortunately. He's got 150 in all skills. He's got a elven spear, and his body armor is looking pretty bad. So yeah, pretty trash tier 5 unit. Look at that helmet. That is not really protecting much at all. We also got 6 traders, which upgrade to the master traders, so they're even worse. And you can imagine their equipment is just worse. We did get 2 trader guards though, which are tier 4, and they have really good bows. The wood elf bow is way better than what we're using. They also come with a sword, plus 2 quivers, and then their armor is pretty similar to the other guy's armor. Not great stuff. They have no helmet, I think. We come across a serene pond with golden sunlight filtering through the trees. Everyone's faces light up with wonder. We have a moment of respite. What do we say? We can harvest plants, we can fish, or we can all heal. Well, everyone's pretty much full HP, and I know what fish is. Let's try to harvest some plants. Let's see what that does. No one gets anything. No one gets anything again and again. We got some grain, okay. And wow, that is so lame. That little event did slow us down for a few hours, so this elvish lord was almost able to catch us. That was a massive bait. We come across another warband that has 8 more prisoners and 3 more elvish archers. We now have 3 archers ourselves, 2 elvish ones and 1 hood. And then those guys are probably going to all get killed here, I would imagine. Actually getting hit by these guys. I'm hearing some shots connect with our units. And they're putting their bowmen in the front. And our archers kill one of their dudes already. Okay. I could actually use my ability. What am I doing? Oh yeah. 35 damage to all of them, I think. Or a lot of them. And here we go. The enemy is just full on charging into us. I wonder if I should have my archers pull back. Could do. Archers go that way. And melee units get ready to charge. I don't care what happens to melee units really. Their bowmen are just charging. What are they doing? Okay, well, we are engaging them. Our melee units are doing pretty well, though. I'm seeing us getting a lot of kills in the top right. I'm not seeing a lot of people are getting killed. These elvish units might be better than beastmen anyways, in melee. Oh yeah, we absolutely annihilated them. Off that, we get 4 renown, and we did capture some more Ungors, plus we got some level ups. 2 traders upgraded to master traders, and 2 trader guards upgraded to elite trader guards. They must be getting the triple XP as well, and they're now tier 5. And they have 150 bow skill, whereas the other guys had 120. And then they have the same bow, I'm seeing the same everything else pretty much, except they do have more HP. And wow, one of the beastmen dropped their bow, and this is much better than what we were using. It's 1 speed slower, but 10 more damage, more accuracy, and more missile speed. Oh yeah. We come across a group of beastmen raiders who have 43 prisoners. We can't tell what they are, and we cannot participate in this village raid for some reason. Another fancy Bannerlord mechanic, and I'm pretty sure in Warband you could help out a raid even if you're at war with both factions. And that's really unfortunate. This Elvish Lord comes in and steals our bandits away from us. She's about to get a ton of new units, I bet. Or no, she did not get any units. I guess those prisoners were not from the Elvish faction. I just wish I could have ran to that battle and fought the beastmen. I don't see a reason why I couldn't. Like, let me fight the villagers and the beastmen at the same time. I don't care. Just let me go in and fight. Like, tell me I can't do something in a sandbox game is pretty stupid. We got another one of these fancy events. Traveling merchant. We can browse his wares. And what the heck? No freaking way. We can't afford this stuff. Whoa, he's got really good armor too. 42 head armor. Look at that chest piece. War Dancer bracers suck really bad. Why are you even selling those, buddy? Leather boots are kind of affordable, but they're not even that good. Horse armor has 70 armor. Whoa. I really wish we could afford something. Could afford the shield, I guess, and give it to a companion later. And we can look at the weapon stats. Really long lance. A warrior priest hammer, which has some type of magical effect. It provides 10% holy damage amplification and does extra holy damage on swing. Oh man, that's so cool. Vampire Great Axe does a ton of damage. This sword has really long length, does a lot of damage. And the Vampire Sword is not as good, but it's only a one-hander, so it kind of is as good. Oh, and I missed this flintlock pistol. Could we actually afford that? We sold everything and we picked up the pistol. We actually could afford it. I obviously would not be using this gun. It'd be for a companion, but I don't know how good the gun is, and this would be like all of our cash. So I don't think we're going to buy it. I feel like the shields could be pretty good for a companion though. Although those aren't even that big. It's a small shield. This one big? No, it's not even big. It's just really tanky. I think we'll just save our money. I kited an elf lord that has a ton of prisoners over to an elf village. And the layout for this thing is really cool. We can position our troops on top of this tree fort thing. We're just really exposed is the only issue. So I'm not sure how this is going to work. The main thing I did is I separated our groups so I was able to kind of spread them out a bit. But then group 1 is in shield wall formation, so they're all really clumped up. And when the enemy units head up this ramp, they should just get owned, hopefully. So our archers up there, melee guys over there, and then I was able to jump on this little roof thing, which as we've seen, roofs are very overpowered. I hope the enemy melee units just get stuck on me. And the enemy does have a lot of those wild riders, which are very beastly. And here they come. Riders are too stupid to come up these ramps though, which is why we're using this layout. Not seeing any archers right now, which is good. Probably use my special ability, maybe not yet. I should actually use it because as we get kills, we're recharging it, so might as well. I wonder if they're stuck on me at all. No, they're not. Wait, some are. If I get closer to the edge, they get stuck maybe. Yeah, some of their units are getting stuck. These war dancers are pretty beastly, I think. Just don't have much protection, as you can see. What's that dude doing with his head through the stairs? We got some Bannerlord AI in action over there. Let's use our special ability. It did do something, I think. Nice headshot. Another nice headshot. We took out those guys. Now we can start focusing down these riders, which for some reason do not have bows. You would think being wood elf riders, they would all have bows, but no. What the heck is this guy doing? Some type of skibbity meme. And one thing that's cool about this loadout is at the top of the towers, there's places to refill your ammo, so you can just kind of go ham. We'll hop back on our little roof, and we'll just keep unloading on these guys. We'll eventually maybe take out one of them. It's gonna take forever. We still have some archers up. I'm seeing they're unloading on these guys from up there. 3 archers are still up. Wow. Oh no, this guy got dismounted. It's actually not good because he could actually charge up the ramp now. Well, maybe he still thinks he's in the cavalry group. Yeah, he still thinks he's the cavalry. He's gonna chill. Alright. Fair enough. Whoa, that's a nice little kill streak. Oh, I failed. I think that's their lord. He's trying to retreat. No, you don't. He's got moves though. It's like a Rust player. I think he actually gets out. And while we won, for winning that, we get 20 renown. Plus we captured some really good units, 2 tier 7s and 10 tier 6s. We'll grab only those units. We won't grab these other ones because the wider variety of prisoners you have, the more difficult it is to recruit them. We'll pick up this dude, but then we'll dump off the rest of these crappy prisoners. We got 2 trader guard upgrades, 2 elite trader guards. So we now have 3 of those. We'll just upgrade the rest of these guys. Upgrade the hood to a hairy mount, which is this guy. He's only got 90 bows, and he's got a longbow, which I don't think is as good as the elvish bows. The bandits so far that we've run across are trash. As for loot, legendary Wild Rider armor. 4 more body armor, 7 more leg armor, 1 less arm armor. We'll definitely be putting that baby on. Oh, and our dude looks sick now. Wild Rider boots are really good. These gloves are not as good as ours, which is unfortunate. They look really cool. Ooh, part of me wants to use them just because of their looks. Part of me wants to put this one on because of his looks. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. If only I had comparable stats, I could realize my dream. This War Dancer mask is not that cool, and it's worse. We also get an Empire Charger, which is 2 better speed, but 5 less maneuver. But it does a lot more charge damage. I mean, I guess we'll use it. And then down here we got a stag saddle, which is not for a horse, it's for a stag. And this saddle is actually better. We'll be using that one. Off that battle, we got a crazy amount of bow skill. We're up to 211 bows. We'll put 2 more focus points into bows, and we'll get some more perks. We did just pick up Hunter Clan, which I think is better than Discipline. They're both pretty bad in my opinion. Then we can get more zoom with bows and more range on the campaign map. Or less damage taken from projectiles, and troops take less damage from projectiles. That's probably better, yeah. We get more XP to ranged troops after every battle, or more starting battle morale to ranged troops, and less recruitment and upgrade cost to ranged troops. Renowned Archer is probably better, because leveling up troops is not a problem. We have 3 times XP rate. So let's take Renowned Archer. We also got an athletics skill up, and weapon handling apparently does affect ranged weapons, so we'll go for that. So we got 2 more attribute points. We'll dump them into cunning, and then we're almost maxed out on our career. We just need 1 more point to get the final Forest Stalker buff. And last but definitely not least, their lord had some really cool prisoners. These Uncle Raiders are not that good, but then these Gore Foe Renders are tier 6. They have 160 HP and some not so great armor, I guess. Their shield is also not great, but their axe is pretty good. And they upgrade to these Man Rippers, which have 210 stats. The Foe Renders have 180. And the Man Rippers have a crazy 2-handed axe, 138 swing damage on this thing. You can see why they're called Man Rippers. Even cooler though is we got 2 of these Minotaurs. They have a 270 stats, and their great axe has crazy length and really good swing damage. As for their armor, great boots. Their hand armor is really good, as is their Minotaur body, and their Minotaur head's pretty good too. Oh and wow, they have 440 HP. They get damage amplification, plus they will not flee, and they won't flinch from being hit. We're now trying to run down the Elvish Lord, and he is a bit quicker than us, but I think we got him trapped here. Go this way. Oh, that was so close. Wait, I think he's actually trapped this time. There's nowhere to go, right? Yeah, I think we got him. Yes. First thing we're going to do is have the Minotaur retreat. This is not a good battlefield for them. The rest of our units are pretty clumped up on me. And then we have the enemy horse archers surrounding us, which by the way, the Lord did not have any horse. Ooh, nice kill on that dude. Ooh, another one down. This Lord did not have any horse archers in our previous battle, thankfully. Let's actually charge now. These guys are really clumped up. Just gotta make sure I stay away from those Wild Riders. Those dudes have mounts with like 70 charge, I think it is. And oh no. Ooh, that was me or him, I think. That was a me or him moment. This one might be as well. Oh, that guy wasn't swinging. How about this dude? Me or him moment? Nope. I get out. And so does he. Feel like we're doing okay. We outnumber them 2-1. And we chose a pretty good tactic, I think. Because, yeah, we didn't want to fight the enemy on open field. And we got the Minotaur on the battlefield, which is not what I meant to do. I told the Minotaur to retreat at the start of the battle, but I guess I didn't wait long enough for them to leave fully, because eventually I told everyone to charge, and I guess the Minotaur were still on the battlefield when I did. But yeah, as you can see, these guys have quicker mounts than me, which is something we'd like to fix. 51 damage. One more hit on this guy. It's really too bad. Oh, never mind. Somebody else got that kill. There's a mod that's unfortunately not being updated called You Keep What You Kill. And if I had that mod enabled and I killed that archer, I would have for sure been able to loot his bow. I think that's a really cool mod. It incentivizes you to really get in the action and not let your units kill priority targets. Getting some of these stag mounts for our companions later would be really cool too. This guy just fleeing the battlefield fully? No fleeing, man. You gotta stay till the end. Off of that, we do get a whopping 6 renown. We lost 7 units. Nothing that we care about too much. The master traders, I don't think were bowmen, hopefully. We did manage to capture Lord Dyth, and we got 16 points in a roguery for some reason. I guess because we captured a lord. We also managed to capture quite a few units. The only ones that are worth it right now, I think, are the Wild Riders. We only captured one of those. The Glade Knights are just standard units that we could get by upgrading Militia to the Glade Knights. It's the same with the Glade Riders. Glade Riders are just lower tier Glade Knights. You can see they don't have much stats, 120. Whereas if we look at the Wild Riders, they have 180 stats, and they are special units. They don't upgrade from peasants. And yeah, 210 skills with the Stag Knights, which is pretty good. To recruit them quicker, we're not going to take any of these prisoners. We will take some of the loot though. Piercing arrows add 4 damage. The arrows that we're currently using add 0. Bodkin arrows add 3 damage, and splintered piercing add 1 only. Well, we didn't get a bow, but the arrows are still an upgrade, so we'll take it. And that's about all for upgrades. We went around to nearby villages and pawned off some of our goods. Part of the difficulty with this challenge is each village only has 1k gold, which restocks every few days or so. So if we want to sell our goods off, it's pretty slow going. We're now up to 14k gold and 859 of whatever this resource is. And with the help of a mod made specifically for me by they who do not want to be pinged, huge shout out to them, we can now use money to turn prisoner lords into companions. This dude is quite a beast. He's got 300 in all melee weapon skill, 200 in bow proficiency, 300 in riding and athletics, and then mainly 260 in steward. Normally with companions, you can make one of them your quartermaster, which increases party size by a bunch, and then you get some perks which aren't super crazy good. The stewardship tree kind of needs a revamp in my opinion. This thing's really good though. If you can get stewardship up to 125, you can destroy weapons to give your troops XP. For some reason though, we cannot turn this guy into our steward like you can with normal companions, and so for now he's just going to be a combat beast. We're going to give him over the mount I was using, the Empire Charger, which is quite a bit better than a hunter for a melee guy. It does more charge damage and is quicker, and he's just going to be running into people, so I think he's going to make better use of it. Then we do also have a pretty crappy saddle for him. As far as his other gear, he's using Glade Lord boots, bracers, armor, which is really good, a cape, and a special blindfold just for him, Lord Dyth. He's repping the Illidan style, and then he has the Wood Elven Greatsword, which is quite long and does a ton of damage. He does have 200 bow skill, so we could give him over a pretty crappy bow, and he could use that, but I think I'd rather just have him use his beastly melee weapon with his 300 melee skill. We're about to possibly find him a better weapon from these Chaos Cultists who I ran down, because I saw they had 3 horsemen prisoners. I'm pretty sure it was this guy who dropped the legendary sledgehammer. It's worse than Lord Dyth's weapon in every way, but I want to test if this thing can knock people out like Mace's Cannon Warband. On top of the sledgehammer, we also got some random loot from that party, and mainly we rescued these 3 horsemen prisoners that will just straight up join us. They're tier 4 horsemen, and their stats are overall pretty average, just 120 everything, but since they're horsemen, they're going to increase our map movement speed. After recruiting Lord Dyth, we were pretty much broke, but we got some cash back by pawning goods off at a few different villages, and we're about to get quite a bit more cash from running down our first caravan. We were barely faster than this thing, even after dumping off most of our Wild Rider prisoners, which are the lower tier ones. I kept the 2 higher tier dudes they upgrade into. To increase our movement speed more, we do a bunch of infantry units that we might end up losing in this battle. And just on a side note, before we begin the battle, we can trade with this caravan, and they have 5k gold, so they can actually afford to buy this Eternal Guard armor, plus some other random crap, and we get quite a bit of cash from that. To start the battle off, I'm going to tell the Minotaur to retreat because I do not want to lose them, and then that's what we're going to do with our army. So we just took out one of their dudes, which is pretty good. We have our archers up here in the front, just bowing at them, and we're going to try to take out as many as we can before the enemy charges. So far we've killed 7, and we've only lost 1, and after that, it looks like the enemy is going to now charge. I'm going to use my special ability in this group if I can. I was having some problems, but then I figured out how to use it. Okay, we're good. And this is not good, actually. I just ran into a bunch of their horsemen, although they're in a kind of a bad spot. And I think if we have all of our infantry charged right now, they can just kind of overwhelm them, because you can see the terrain is not good for horsemen right here. Like, there's a bunch of rocks and stuff. And yeah, I'm not even doing anything. I'm just kind of trying to pull the cavalry behind me. They're all following me, and I'm trying to distract. But right now, I'm not doing a good job of not getting hit. I'm getting hit quite hard, which is not a good start to the battle, that's for sure. And I'm down. Okay, well, I sucked on that one. I was trying more to explain what was going on rather than doing anything, but I don't think it's going to matter. It's looking like my tactics were superior there. You can see we're just getting way more kills than the enemy is. What the heck? That horse just freaking flew. That was quite a big win because we almost got 10 renown for that. And then we lost 7 units. Some units that we mostly don't care about. One of the caravan horsemen we do care about. And we did manage to knock out quite a few of them, but we're not going to take them as prisoner because that would slow down the recruitment process of the Stag Knight and the Wild Rider. And then speaking of taking prisoners, I actually forgot to test out the mace in that battle. We did get some upgrades. 2 caravan horsemen are ready to upgrade to caravan masters. Oh, and wait, are these even mounted anymore? Let's not do that, I guess, because yeah, we don't want them to lose their mounts. What the heck is that? They do end up gaining 30 more proficiency over the caravan horsemen, and I'm guessing their equipment is slightly better, but there's just no way that's worth it for us. We want to move fast on the world map. And speaking of moving fast, if we just dump off these Ungor Raiders, we get 0.1 movement speed, and then we'll dump off these tier 2 Ungors as well. They're pretty trash. And then maybe also the shielded Ungors, which are only tier 3, and doing that is going to increase our movement speed another 0.1. We will keep around the rest of these units though, because they're all tier 4 and up, and we want to keep our party pretty strong. As for the loot, we got the Eternal Guard armor back that we sold them, I believe, and this mount is actually 4 movement speed quicker than my mount, so I'll use that. Heavy mail mittens are way better than my gloves. They don't look nearly as cool for our roleplay thing we got going on. And then we got a masterwork modifier on this hunting bow, but it's worse in every way except for the speed. It's definitely not an upgrade. And then down here we got some more sumpter horses to increase our carrying capacity. And we're going to need a lot of carrying capacity because these guys had 67 grain. There's no way we can hold all that, right? No, we can't even hold any of the grain actually. We pawned a lot of the goods off that we stole from that caravan at some more villages, and eventually ran into this caravan, which we were much quicker than. We were like 0.6 speed more than it, which makes me think that it doesn't have many cavalry. Before we decide if we're going to attack them or not, we will sell them off the Eternal Glade armor yet again, I think, and the War Dancer armor plus the bracers, and just that is going to give us 7k. We'll also sell the rest of this random crap. Some weapons we got up here, and then we might as well just sell them this food because we could steal it back from them on these weapons up here too. Might as well. That transaction gets us up to 21.5k, and we're going to use quite a bit of that to recruit one of the Minotaur as a companion. This is another feature of the special mod I'm using. If we spend 18k, we can turn this guy into a companion, and now there's no chance that he gets killed in the battle, so we can just YOLO with him. You can see his stats, 22 vigor, so he's going to level up his melee weapons quite quick. He has full proficiency in all of them, and then he actually can use ranged weapons as well. Surprised that Minotaur can use bows and crossbows. And he's got really good control for some reason. That's very odd. He's also got really high endurance, and wait, can we give him a mount? And then down here he could actually use a gun as well. That's kind of funny. We can also check out his gear, which I'm pretty sure we saw earlier, but from this menu we can see more of like the graphics of it. He has the Minotaur Great Axe, which has a bonus against shields, so I'm guessing he can just smash through shields because that thing does a ton of damage. He's also got his Minotaur accessories, which I guess is just a helmet, Minotaur body, which gives him some decent amount of armor, the hands also, and the accessories too, which I guess are just his boots. And yeah, if we wanted to, we could actually give him a mount. I feel like doing something like that could break the game because you're not technically supposed to have these guys as companions, but let's just try it out. Because my health is so low, we got to follow this caravan and wait for me to heal back up so I can actually participate on the battlefield. And as we're stalking the caravan, we get another traveling merchant random event. And this is quite a shame because the dude has some insane stuff. Like these arrows of potency only have 12 arrows, but they deal 150 damage. So they pretty much one-shot anything that you hit with them, but they are 200k. So there's just no way we could afford them. They do have a wood elf bow though, which does like double the damage of my bow. Wait, what the heck? And it's only 2,500. Is that cheaper than the bow we're using? Not quite, but it's not too far away from it. And then actually, let's see if we take my gear off. What can we possibly sell to buy some more of his stuff? The legendary Wild Rider armor has a value of 40k. Is that for real? The Wild Rider boots are really good, but I wouldn't mind selling them. Sledgehammer too. This stuff is selling for a crazy amount. I don't really want to sell the cape because it just looks so cool. I feel like losing that would be a massive bummer. But I guess if we need 5,600 more, then we can sell it. And right now we have 78,000 to barter with. We could sell him our cape and buy this one, which has an effect on it that gives us magic resist and magic damage amplification, which isn't that great for me, I think. Although it probably would affect my arrow special ability. And whoa, that thing looks cool. We're just kind of trying to conserve our money right now though, so yeah, we'll probably won't buy that. And then this dress has the same enchant, and then I guess the Beast Wizard robe does as well. We got this armor piece, which isn't super great, but then this one's really good. And the Lord armor is actually worse than this one. This one's just way better, pretty much in all regards than the Lord armor, and it's cheaper. And we got the Blazing Sun body armor, which is really tanky, but it's 100k. We cannot afford that. I'm thinking let's not sell everything, and we can basically trade the legendary Wild Rider armor plus the Sledgehammer for the Questing Knight armor, which is way better than the Wild Rider armor. If we compare the stats, there's just no comparison. It's like almost double the body armor. We now have to pay 14.6k, and the Wild Rider boots for some reason sell for 22, and the Glade Lord cape for 5.6. And then we could buy the Exiled Wizard cape, which actually looks really cool with this armor. I think it looks way more fitting because the shoulder pads kind of tie the hood in with the armor. Versus if we look at the Glade Guard cape, there's just no comparison. Like, it doesn't have the shoulder pads, and yeah, the wizard cape is just actually making it look like this armor set actually makes sense. I'm not strictly trying to be a role player here. Like, if we keep our cape, we still have 7k to buy with, but there's nothing here we really want for 7k. So I think just trading the capes makes sense. Then we do also get the magic resist and more magic damage on probably our special ability. We stocked the caravan till I healed enough so that I can now participate on the battlefield, and then we stocked it a bit longer because screw night battles. Those things suck. And crap, it looks like Minotaur are not meant to be mounted. This guy cannot move. We're gonna have to retreat, and I will unhorse him. Before we do the battle, one mechanic in Bannerlord that I've just been kind of realizing is you can add commanders to separate parts of your army. Like, we got the Minotaur with almost 200 infantry influence, meaning that I think he's giving them bonus stats from his perks. And just on a side note for anyone who cares, here's a list of most of his perks that are affecting our infantry. A lot of them are really minor bonuses, like 2% melee damage for troops, but then this one, which is really deep in the athletics tree, gives +5 armor to every body part of troops in its group, which is pretty massive. He's also got the shield bonus, so troops have bigger shields, which I think is also massive. And then he's got a few +30 proficiency perks, which again I think is really good. We should actually put our infantry and our range units in this group, so our archers do get some bonuses as well. You can see there's no one in the group currently, but if we disable this group, we'll put all the archers in that group, and then we'll disable this group down here as well, and that will put all of our infantry in that group. So now all of our archers and infantry are getting bonuses from the Minotaur, and then Lord Dyth will manage our cavalry group, and he has quite a bit of influence over cavalry and horse archers. And again, really quickly, here's some of his perks that are benefiting our mounted units, like less damage taken, more damage done, and increased armor to our mounts, which is helpful. And speaking of bonuses, we have 10% physical damage reduction to all of our troops, because we prayed at this shrine for a few hours about a day ago. We are outnumbered 2-1, and we do only have 4 archers, I believe. The rest of our units will Minotaur, you need to get in the back. I put our Minotaur in a separate group, put them behind those dudes, and then now have them charge. And I'm going to have the cavalry follow me as usual. I'm going to try to get in the back of these guys. Whoa, what the heck? Oh, and that guy got taken out. Very nice. Let's use the special ability as well. And that did 35 damage to like 5 of them, I think. That's not ideal. But yeah, we're distracting. And then we did recruit a Wild Rider who may or may not be super effective on this battlefield. The Minotaur is already going in. Oh no, we got to get in there. I think the Minotaur is way faster than our other infantry. And their archers are in a terrible spot, by the way. I did reset this battlefield till we got some hills. And I kind of chased the caravan around a little bit longer. And yeah, this is maybe like super ideal because their archers cannot see our infantry till it's too late maybe. And as for me, I'm just going to be chilling, dropping some shots on these guys. I'm seeing we're getting more kills than the enemy, which is good, but we need to get 2-to-1 ratio, which so far I don't think that's happening. It's looking like it's yeah, I don't think it's happening. I'm not sure though. Cannot give up. I just need to make sure that I am staying healthy, because if I'm alive, then we can keep going. The Minotaur is still up, and Lord Dyth is still up, but oh, we have some archers over here too. Okay, wait, this could be possible. Everyone just keep charging. I had the cavalry follow me, but I think the cavalry just need to do their own thing. Minotaur needs some help. I don't know who to focus here, to be honest. I'm just trying to not get hit. That's the main thing. Because, yeah, if I can find some arrows, I feel like I can pull back and kind of cheese this. As long as the enemy doesn't have that many archers up. Wait, do they have any archers up? I think they have like 2 archers left. If I can just take out their archers, we win. Oh, nope, I'm seeing way more archers. I don't know what the heck this thing is. Like it's showing 10 infantry, but those are not just 10 melee dudes. Those are mixed of melee and archers. Well, their units are just chilling, protecting their caravan goods. And with 56 arrows left, can I end up hitting some shots here? 55 arrows left. I think the plan is just focus their archers one by one. And finally I hit that guy after wasting like 4 more arrows on him. Hit him again with the next arrow, very nice. I was aiming too high earlier. I gotta aim like right at him pretty much. And we got him, 1 archer down. This next archer is gonna be a little bit difficult. The horse is protecting his body. Well, and that shot hits the horse and scares it away. So he's now no longer being protected. Just aim for the body. And we hit, very nice. And another hit right after, and that's a kill. Next guy's being protected by a horse, but I hit the horse and now it's scared off. And I kill him next arrow. Not sure how many are left. I'm seeing only 1 right now aiming at me, and I just hit him. And kill on that archer. Is that the last one? Yes, that is the last archer. There's 6 units left, and I'm seeing 6 spearmen. Okay, we actually did it. Wow. Just in case the enemy charges, I'm trying to mount this stupid sumpter horse, but I cannot mount it. I guess this thing is just for show. I think all the horses left are sumpter horses. So, yeah, I'm just going to have to hope these guys don't charge, I guess. I don't know. Nice kill. Just unload on these guys. Or they're not moving yet. So we can just kind of chill. Maybe aim for the head. Another kill. Oh, and they're charging? Oh, no. This is really bad. Use the special ability. I don't know how to use it. Sometimes it just doesn't work. Oh no, this is really bad. Just make sure I stun him. Oh dude, this is crazy. Like, last guy. No way. What the frick? Well, it doesn't get much closer than that. Off that battle, we get 12 renown. We're not going to take any of the prisoners, but we will take some of this loot. Legendary Wood Elven Spear. I wonder if that's better than Lord Dice Weapon for a horseman. This armor is not great, but has a really high value. 2 more Wood Elven Spears that are not legendary. We got some boots back. I was bootless on that battle. In the snow too, that was pretty brutal. And then down here we got 2 large bag of light bodkin arrows that deal 3 damage, and that's an upgrade over our light bodkin arrows, which have less stack, and these splintered arrows suck. And then down here we got another wood elf bow. I wonder if we should give that over to Lord Dythe. And that's all the goods we can carry, but they do have some sumpter horses which can help us carry more. Let's see what else we can carry. That's quite a bit. We just can't carry all that flax, which has pretty much no value. We sell some of those goods to this elvish caravan for over 10k profit, and I was going to engage the caravan afterwards, but this battlefield was really wide open and the caravan has a lot of archers. I was going to follow them around and engage them on a different battlefield, but the caravan gets ambushed by this beastman party and they were going to lose, but this elvish lord helps out. For the next couple days, we're chased by that elvish lord as we're trying to chase the caravan, and eventually the lord does give up and we're able to run it down. Because a few days have gone by, the caravan had somehow restocked a bit of its gold supply and we're able to get 5k more gold from another trade. We then ambush the caravan, and after I snipe out just one of their guards, the caravan charges us. This is really ideal because like you can even see the enemy archers are just charging straight into us, and for the most part they're not even using their bows. Yeah, this battle was super easy. Our one remaining minotaur just completely chops them up. We did unfortunately lose our other minotaur in the previous battle, but I think it was worth it. For loot, we again get some really high value gear that we can sell, and speaking of money, we've got quite a bit now. One of our tier 7 great Stagnite prisoners that we've been dragging around is finally ready to be recruited, and then instead of waiting for the massive amount of conformity it costs to recruit the other one because it's a tier 7, with the help of my special mod, we can use this option to bribe them to become a companion, similar to how we did with the minotaur. It's going to cost 13.5k for this dude, but I think he's worth it. As we already saw earlier, the dude has 210 in all his proficiencies and a lot of vigor and control, so he's going to be able to level these up pretty quick. And speaking of skills really quick, we got some roguery from raiding caravans, and we are up to 55 now, so we can get another perk. Two-Face gives us much more chance to be able to sneak into towns. Let's try that out. I think the chance is still not 100% though, and if we get caught, then it's very bad. We also got a tactics perk, and this one makes our infantry more tanky, which I like that more, I think. A scouting perk. This one requires us to have a lot of infantry, which we plan on doing more cavalry, so let's go for Desertborn. Then our soldiers have been getting killed or knocked out, so we got a medicine perk. I don't care too much about movement speed, because we're going to be on a mount most of the time. I doubt that affects your mounted movement speed, and the healing rate's nice. But I think preventive medicine for the extra HP, and then if we take damage in a battle, we'll heal quite a bit of that back. So it'll probably be more healing than the increased healing rate. We're also up to 229 bows, so we can get another bow perk. Horsemaster's probably the way, because I'm guessing there's some uber bows that you cannot normally use on horseback, but with this you can use them, so we'll probably pick that. We will put another focus point in the bows, and originally I was putting attribute points into cunning, so we can level up scouting, tactics, and roguery easier, because I feel like those are all pretty good. But part of me just wants to see how much bow skill we can eventually get, so we might just start mashing all our points into control from now on. And really quickly, we can check out our new companion's gear. So the cape is not anything special really. The armor is decently tanky though. The bracers are okay. The boots are good. But then mainly the Great Stag has 70 charge damage. If we compare that to just a crappy hunter, it only has 16. The saddle though on this thing is not that good. We need to find him a better one. And then as for his weapons, we actually have an upgrade for his wood elf spear. We have the legendary version of it, so we might as well just give him that. Although, do we even want him to have a spear if he's going to have this wood elven greatsword as well? Same thing that Dyth was using, I'm pretty sure. For now, I think we'll just keep both weapons on him, and we'll give him a wood elf bow plus some bodkin arrows. And the idea in these battles is he's going to be a horse archer till he runs out of arrows, and then he'll just charge in. I could give him 2 quivers and dump out one of his melee weapons, but I kind of want him to just charge in at the end because his mount is so beastly. And then speaking of charging in, Dyth has just been charging in with his Empire Charger that does not have a great saddle. I think we want him to stick back a bit. Let's give him a bow. He does have 200 proficiency only with the bow and 300 with melee weapons, but 200 proficiency is not bad. And now with this loadout, he'll sit back more and his mount won't get 2-shotted because it has a crappy saddle. And now I think about it, the Stag Knight boss's mount also has a really crappy saddle, and his mount's just going to get killed if he charges in. So let's give him over another quiver, toss out the greatsword, and he can keep the legendary spear for now. I think it's going to be way better this way because like we just engaged another caravan, which has mostly just archers and melee dudes. It's actually mostly melee dudes. But yeah, you can see like our Great Stag Knight is not going to live that long. I should have probably had him pull back. Although our army's not actually big enough, so I can assign manual groups. So yeah, there's actually no way to control him, I think, unless I want to control the archers as well. So if I want to have him retreat, then I have to have the horse archers retreat as well, which is a bit of a fail, I think, with the Bannerlord system. I don't know why they just didn't keep like Warband, where you're allowed to basically choose which units go in what group. It's just such a better system, in my opinion. Jeez. And our Stag Knight ends up getting knocked out, not killed. Okay, that's good. Oh, nice. That was a double headshot, I think. It's very lucky, because, yeah, when I'm on horseback, the reticle is massive still. A Stag Knight boss taking out 2 dudes with his charge. He's now out of arrows. So I'm going to have him and Lord Dyth pull back. Lord Dyth just ran into a tree. I'm going to have them pull way back, because just in case I lose my mount, I can have them dismount and I can steal their mounts. Yeah, there's some hills on this battlefield, so I can dismount my mount, which will eventually run away. There's something they did with Bannerlord with their horses where like the horses will just run away eventually, which is you know, interesting design choice. You can see my reticle is much smaller when I'm not mounted. And here we go, they're charging. I can see the archer back there. I almost walked into that arrow. Horse is still up though, thankfully, so I can run away from the dudes that are charging. And the Stag Knight lost his mount, I think. That's not good. Well, I can try to get in here and help him out, but I think it's too late. Yeah, he's down. Doesn't really matter though, like as long as my mount stays up. Maybe I should have Lord Dyth dismount himself to give me his mount. Here we go. I'm gonna have him dismount. And then I could give him my mount, I think, if I can figure out how to, can I get on the mount? Yes, okay. His mount is much tankier. And then mount, I think. Nope. Mount. Crap. Okay, I figured it out. Lord Dyth, you follow me? Nope. What the heck? I will say it's a cool feature they did do in Bannerlord where you can remount. I don't think you can in Warband. Follow me. There you go. I don't know why he dismounted himself. I'm seeing 3 bowmen, and this is going to be sketchy. If they hit me, well, I'm pretty tanky. I'm actually not too worried about it. He's aiming at Lord Dyth too. There we go. Finally took out the traitor guard. And there's just one more archer left. Let's just focus on the spearman. And I can have Lord Dythe just solo the last archer. And there we go, just one archer left. Lord Dythe, you can have it.
Fresh meat.
What the frick? I've never seen that before. That might be because of a mod. We will, for the first time, take some prisoners. Let's take those trader guards, the archers. Then for loot, nothing too crazy here. We'll take it all. Or never mind, we're actually overburdened. We can take one Sumter horse, but then if we take any more than that, our movement speed lowers because we don't have enough people for the amount of horses we have. So our party's so tiny. So it looks like this many horses is the magic number for our party. And I know I gotta go through all the loot and dump the heaviest stuff. Like the harnesses weigh a whopping 20. I didn't even know they were so heavy. And then like each of these trade goods weighs 10. So we'll dump the crappiest ones like the hides. And let's actually sort by value. We got food up here that people are eating though. I don't want to dump too much of the food. The more food we have, the more morale we have. And the more morale we have, the more leadership I'm getting, which is really good. I get a lot of leadership. And wow, I got a ton of XP off that battle. We got 2 more attribute points. Let's just put them into control. And then 2 more focus points into bows. And then we're up to 251 bows, so we can get the next perk. We have to choose Deep Quivers or Horsemaster to get the next perk. So let's just choose Horsemaster. And then bows don't slow you down. It's good if you're on foot, but I don't think that applies if you're on horseback. Let's take the aiming speed. We also got a new riding perk. Less accuracy penalty while mounted. Although the second part does nothing because we can just make someone else the captain. And Sweeping Wind is really good. Increased top speed to your mount. And 2% party speed is going to buff us up from 4.3 to 4.8. We get 0.5 movement speed from that. Okay, we got to take that. Screw the accuracy penalty with bows. I don't care. I think I did forget to mention that we sold 5k worth of goods to that caravan. And then this next caravan is getting ambushed by a beastman party, which they do end up defeating. And they do have a bit more gold, 7k. When I do these trades, I should just dump off the cheapest of our trade goods first. And then I should sell anything that's really low value. I would sell the heaviest stuff, but unfortunately you cannot sort by weight for some reason. And yeah, that's pretty good. We now have way more carrying capacity. And we're going to need it because we're going to take on another caravan, which got really weakened by that beastman attack. They only have 10 units left. We have 6. I think we should be able to do this. We'll first focus down this guy's mount, which has a pretty crappy saddle. And just 2 arrows takes it out. Yeah, having the cavalry follow me is just great. You can see their bowmen are just focused to cavalry. I am focusing nothing because I'm just missing all my shots. There we go. Finally killed that dude. Another archer down. I think there's just 1 more archer left. And that guy's not even an elf, so he's probably nothing too special. And yeah, there's just melee units left. Easy peasy. And I just effed up really bad. The Great Stag Knight gets killed fighting like the last dude. That was so avoidable. I should have turned him into a companion before that battle because we had 19k. That's a massive L. That caravan kind of sucked for gear, but they do have a lot of trade goods. 12 oil. Apparently I forgot to grab the oil and a lot of the trade goods because here's all the trade goods that we still had left. We also sold off a bunch of random gear we picked up for all their 12.5k gold. And this next caravan also is 12k, and we get all that just from selling them some equipment. We don't have any trade goods that they want to buy. About a day later, we run into this lord who we're going to kite into a village, and we're again going to use the cheese method on him. You can see my arrows are burning now, and it's not actually making them do any extra damage. It's just when it gets towards nighttime, the arrows are burning, so you can see their projectiles. Yeah, I just got to see if we can take out as many archers as we can before they make it into our bowman line over here. I could actually have these guys just run. I gave the Minotaur a bow, by the way, because he has like 270 bows. Which I don't know, how lore accurate it is to have a Minotaur using a bow. Any of these guys have bows? Oh yeah, I'm seeing a bowman over there. It's hard to see actually where I'm aiming at with the fire. Okay, I might need to disable that mod. Or disable it for me, maybe. Maybe there's an option to do that. I'll just have our units charge into their infantry. And then I want to actually kite their bowmen back here. Because mainly, as long as I take out the bowmen, then I'm not too worried. Because I'm safe on this little house thing. Which, yeah, it's super cheesy what we're doing here. But this is kind of a speed run where we're trying to get as much done as we can within a certain amount of time. Lord Dythe just got speared, by the way. Jeez. Oh. Let's see if I can get cover on the other side. I can't actually jump to the other side. I guess it's kind of bad. I'm just going to have to unload on their archers, I guess. Special ability. Took out one of their archers, I think. Oh man, the fire thing is really sucky, actually. Doesn't affect the AI because they obviously don't care about, let's take out this guy. Nice little headshot. Another headshot, I think. Another headshot. Ooh. Is that it? Better be it. I'm freaking low. Holy enemy has 22 troops up. 196 damage headshot. Okay, we are pumping damage. We have about 3 arrows for every one of their troops left. So we should have this as long as they don't have any secret bowmen hiding somewhere. Knight of the Realm knocked out. We will be able to recruit that guy if we want. The Grail Knight. Oh, we killed him unfortunately. I do want to potentially knock out one of those guys though. And there's their Lord, which we will definitely recruit. All their cavalry are down, I think. Now we just gotta finish off the rest of these infantry. We have 50 arrows, and I don't think it's gonna take 50 arrows to take these guys out. It's funny, if I stand right here, they're all out in the open, so I can hit them. But if I move like right here, they all try to run under the roof or something over there. So I have to move back to like this spot is the sweet spot. Yeah, there they go. Oh, now there's no horse blocking their way, so they're going to chill under that side of the roof. But then I can just move here and then they run back that way. Okay, this is actually really funny. I'm trying to figure out how the AI works. This actually works really well because they're running that way and they're not facing their shields towards me. So it's really easy to hit them. It's like a fun little mini game. Last one, I think. It is indeed. We've won the battle and we get 15 renown. We've captured their lord, plus 3 tier 6 Knight of the Realms. We'll grab all those guys for sure. There is a tier 5 mounted Yeoman Warden, which doesn't look too special, only 150 skills. And there's also a couple Knight Errants, which are tier 4, the ones that upgrade into the tier 6s. But we won't capture them because we don't want to slow our party down too much. As for the loot, we got some really nice boots. That's a massive upgrade for me. Those do look a bit silly with my current loadout. And then we also got a helmet upgrade. And this one actually looks a bit better, I would say. Kinda. Or it would look better if this color was the same color as this. But it's not, so it looks a little bit weird, but it's alright, we'll still take the upgrade. We're going to hire the Lord we just captured for 13.6k, plus we're going to hire 2 of these Knight of the Realms for 12.6 each. And here's Charles's stats, which are pretty much the same as Lord Dythe, I believe. And here's the Knight of the Realm stats, 180 in melee and bows, so we should probably make them horse archers. And then speaking of skills, we're up to 290 bows now, so we can get this final perk, which gives us increased reload speed and damage based on how much skill we have above 200. With our current skill, that'd be 18% reload speed and 45% more damage. Since I believe this scales infinitely, there is benefit to getting really high bow skill. So let's just keep pouring our focus points into bows and our attribute points into control. In order to turn the third Knight of the Realm into companion, we sold off most of the high value items to a couple nearby caravans, and we now have 3 Knight of the Realm bosses, which all have the same equipment pretty much. While this guy doesn't have a cloak, the other 2 have this Grail Knight cape, which is really good. And then all the other equipment is pretty much the same, and it is exceptionally good. The helmet and the armor piece and the gloves and the boots, all really good stuff. And their mounts are pretty nuts. They have quite a bit of charge, not as much as the deer mount, but mainly they have really good armor. And a rule I was thinking with these companions is we're kind of doing a contract with them where they're going to fight for us, but they're not going to give us over their gear. So if we want to switch out their gear, we have to give them an upgrade, which obviously we have no upgrade for that horse armor, so I can't take it for myself basically. As for if we want to make them a horse archer or not, I'm thinking not, because they have these jousting lances which can couch lance, and if they do connect with that, they'll pretty much one shot. They also have shields and swords, and for now I decided to swap out those swords with bows, at least while we're farming these caravans in the Elvish lands. We headed back over here to farm a few more of these things because we're pretty broke. And for these battles at least, it's much better to have more horse archers because they have a lot of spearmen that can just own cavalry. We next take on this beastman party, which was really easy. Normally I wouldn't even bother with these guys, but they had quite a few prisoners that we were able to just straight up recruit to our party. And I think those troops were part of a caravan that the beastmen took out because they had some trade goods we were able to sell off to another caravan. That caravan again was not very well defended, so we took it out as well. And then we dumped those goods off at another caravan, which was even weaker because it had just gotten done with the fight. We take them out really easily. It's not even worth showing the battle. And then we dumped some of their goods off at this other caravan. And after doing that, we're up to almost 20k. And I was thinking about taking them out, but nearby, Lady Arda is trying to pursue us. And she has a lot of troops and some really interesting looking ones. Some stuff I've never seen before, like 2 Dryads, 2 Sithrali Wildwood Wardens, which could be pretty interesting. Some Loix Tricksters, which I don't know what those are. And most of her units are infantry. She's only got 25 ranged units and 7 cavalry. So I'm wondering if we do kite her into this nearby village, village, which should be pretty easy. She is pursuing us. And this village cheese, by the way, is only something you can do when the lords are thinking that they're stronger than you, because if they think they're weaker, then they will not pursue you. But yeah, if we just get her close to the village, we're gonna get the first game crash I've actually had so far. Okay. Thankfully, I did have a save not too long ago, and this time we did not get a crash. Whoa, this girl looks cool. And so does, I believe, this dryad in the back. I wonder if this thing's a caster. I'm looking at her skills, and it says she has 200 faith, which may indicate that she is in fact a caster. I tried fighting in that elvish village, but it is a nightmare for cavalry. They end up getting stuck on way too many obstacles. So yeah, we're gonna not fight in that elvish village, and we're gonna try to fight in this human one. So I tried this battle a couple times just to see if there is a tactic that could possibly do it, and I think it's possible. So first thing we're going to do is try to take out their cavalry and protect our infantry. As you can see, the water is very good against horsemen. It's like their main counter is making them walk through water. And yeah, this is phase 1, just take out all their cavalry. Okay, that went really well. Phase number 2 is move over to this side of the lake and have our archers just chill here and start taking shots of these dudes as they run through the lake to try to get to us. We could just have our cavalry come up here on the grass where we're moving fast, and the infantry are still moving slower in the water, I think. Well, I'm not 100% on that. What are their archers at? I think they're like right here, if I'm not mistaken. It's hard to tell. I make all of our non-mounted units kite the enemy in a circle around the lake. Well, it's kind of more of a rectangle than anything. I make sure to keep them on the grass. Because the enemy AI is kind of dumb, they try to take what they think is the shortest path to get to them, and that path usually involves them walking through the lake, so they're moving quite slow. The enemy archers are a bit nasty, but there's a couple spots overlooking the lake that have really good cover. Some of the enemy infantry is a lot faster than the others. So, whoa, we just did 162 damage to this girl and did not kill her. She's a freaking beast. And yeah, just focus these guys because they're moving quicker. Make sure I do not get hit by this girl. I'm pretty sure I just hit her, but it did no damage. There we go. The enemy lines are getting split up pretty well. I cannot afford to miss shots. If I could actually dismount and grab his arrows, that'd be ideal. I wonder if I could. Like, the enemy seems to be very hell-bent on chasing our infantry. They will despawn is the thing, so yeah, I have to pick them up quick. Bill. Oh yeah. Our infantry are still doing an amazing job of kiting. They've lasted so long, and yeah, this is really good. I'm just going to take some shots at these guys because we have plenty of arrows. I think there's like 90 or maybe 100 enemies left. But we're getting some kills here. They just fired into the group. They're not facing their shields towards me, so it's pretty much guaranteed to get a hit. I say that as I missed 3 arrows in a row. 4 arrows. Okay, I give up on that. Our infantry again is doing a good job of distracting, and I don't think their archers can shoot at us while they're walking through the water or something. There's like a certain point where they will start shooting at us. I'm trying to figure out what that point is, but right now I think we can just shoot at them and they will not shoot back. Okay, right now I guess this is the point where they're gonna shoot at us. I'm just gonna dump my special ability into them, and that does a lot of damage. I got like 2 or 3 kills off of that. I wonder if any of them dropped arrows. Oh yeah, there's a quiver. Let's fill that baby back up. For the first time in this battle, we now have more arrows than they have units. 81 arrows to 64 units. We've been kiting these guys around the lake in circles, and I feel like I've found the most ideal strat here, which is attack them when they're right above this little cliff thing. And see if I can, my special ability's not up yet. They get wise to it after a few seconds and they start turning towards us. But then they forget about it and then they keep moving towards the infantry. And this is a really ideal spot as well. We have so much cover above these rocks, and the enemy just, there's no way they can hit shots against me right now, I think. Well, okay, they're shooting at me, so I'm just going to give them a second to forget about me. And then my special ability is actually up again. See if we can take out some archers. I have no idea which one of them are archers at this point. And the main group's over there. Then a few of these guys split off stupidly. So we get some free kills on some pretty high tier dudes. And yeah, it's actually crazy that I've not got hit yet. You can see there's no arrows sticking out of me. So like if I was cheating using the heal cheat or whatever, I would be having arrows sticking out of me, I believe. So this battle has gone on for over 30 minutes, and by this point I was just leaning back in my chair, just chilling, not doing any commentary, because every time they would pass by this little cliff thing, I would get a couple kills, but you know, it was nothing too crazy. In this sequence though, I ended up getting 4 headshots in a row, and then out of the next 9 arrows I shot, 8 of them connected. Wait, are they fleeing? They had enough? Okay, wait, do I have my special ability up? Not quite. I want to take out their cavalry is the main thing. No freaking way they're fleeing. This is actually crazy. Okay, we took out most of them. We ended up getting 30 renown for that. 18 of them got away, including their lord. But we should be able to run her down. Never mind, it's not necessary. We capture her, and because we now have enough renown, we're up to clan tier 2 now, which is huge. We plundered 6k gold from her. We captured quite a few units, 2 dryads, which are interesting. They have 240 skills. They're tier 8. They have 280 health. They have a ward save 25%. I think that just gives like a chance to reduce damage, or I'll flash on the screen what it does. But then they take extra damage from fire. The unit will not flee due to low morale, and it will not flinch from pain. You can see its armor. Head armor is not that much. Torso, again, not that much. Same with the gloves and the boots as well. The boots are actually pretty good. We'll definitely pick up the dryads. And then down here they have a Waywatcher Sentinel tier 5, which is the highest tier of the Asrai archers. And they have really good bows. These Waywatcher bows are better than what I'm using. Definitely grab that dude. And then there's 9 of these Aloix Tricksters, which have 210 in all their stats. And as for their weapon, it's a pretty beastly polearm. Now really quickly I want to check their armor just to see if they're worth recruiting. Well, we could always give them better armor if we turn them into companions. Probably should pick them up. One thing I didn't realize at the time is these units have special attributes. And I know what you're thinking, it's not those, they're round. Unlike their damage reduction, which is a flat 35%. I wonder if we should pick all of them up and we could just pay them to become companions. That'd be really expensive though. And as for equipment, some really nice bracers. I will take those. They look very cool, very elvish. Legendary bracers on this, but they're actually worse. The rest of this armor is not looking like it's really any upgrade for me. Maybe it's an upgrade for some of our companions. I'll have to go through it later. And then stacked bodkin arrows deal a little bit less damage, but there's way more stack. We'll toss out one of our quivers for that. And then down here we got a couple more wood elf bows. First things first, before she can escape, we're going to dump more than half our cash to turn Lady Arda into a companion. We next got to decide what we're going to do with our 6 skill ups. We're up to 369 bows, which I think is a bit overkill. And right now our main issue is people are healing really slow because we don't have a good medic. So I'm going to put some focus points into medicine. And on second thought, let's just put all of our focus points into medicine. So we're going to learn it really quick. And that not only is going to increase people's survival rate, it's going to increase everyone's healing rate, which right now is very slow. As for our attribute points, we'll just keep jamming them into control so we can level up bows quicker for a dank meme. Then I also have a few perk points to spend in Quartermaster. We'll go for frugal to save some money. And then we got another tactics perk. Let's take the 10% damage increase in snow and forest, which is more than 5%. And then finally we have a riding perk, and of course we'll take the 10% range damage. Because we're up to clan tier 2 now, we've become a Waywatcher and we have access to all these new skills. These all are looking pretty good. And I guess every shot we hit is going to increase the damage of our next Arrow of Kurnos. And after we use Arrow of Kurnos, we're going to get a bunch of reload speed and increased damage. I think that's how that works. We also get access to Hawkeye, which I believe gives much more recharge on Arrow of Kurnos if we headshot. And then every 6 arrow can apply a slow effect in an AoE if we invest all 5 points into this. With this perk, it slows time down, but we lose charge of an Arrow of Kurnos while we're zoomed in. That kind of seems like it sucks. Let's just put 2 points into this, and we can actually max out Hail of Arrows and Starfire Essence. And I haven't even gone over what Starfire Essence does yet. We get 6 extra arrows per equipped quiver, and then 15% swing speed, which I would assume affects our bow, because why would they give swing speed to a ranged class if it doesn't? Arrows can also penetrate shields. Not shooting arrows increase the chance that your next arrow explodes, and enemies suffer from damage over time on impact. That seems really good. So yeah, we're just not going to max out Hawkeye here. And then down here, we've already gone over this stuff. We maxed out Protector of the Woods. We maxed out Pathfinder, and then I'm not maxed out Forest Stalker yet, which allows allied troops to recharge Arrow of Kurnos. That could be really good. And then when we use the ability, enemies suffer 50% more magical damage. I don't feel like we have any magical damage though, and I don't know if Arrow of Kurnos is considered magical. If it was considered magical though, we'd use the ability, and then we have to use it within 10 seconds to get that damage boost. I don't know how good that is. On our next level up, we'll finish that off regardless, and then we'll work on maxing out Hawkeye. Also really quickly, we can go over Lady Arda's stats, which are pretty much the same as Lord Dyth. She'd come with a bit of different equipment though, like she's got this Asteroid Ornate Bow, which is better than what I'm using. Plus she came with 2 piercing arrow quivers, which are really good, and a Wood Elven Greatsword. Her armor is really bad though. Wood Elf Circlet gives like no armor. Glade Lord Cape is actually pretty good, but then War Dancer armor sucks. And we actually have the fine version of that, so we'll give her over to that. And then we have the fine version of her bracers as well for quite a big armor increase. Her boots are decent though, and then she's got a Tile Horse, which is really quick and has a ton of maneuver, and it's very tanky. She just has a really crappy saddle for it. We head out of the village and immediately run into another lord, and I guess we're just gonna kite the dude back into that village because that strat seemed to work really well on that last lord. And yeah, ideally we just use the same strat here, although there is 16 cavalry this time, and their cavalry are not charging in like the Elf Lord cavalry did. This lord only has 10 bowmen, so I'm gonna use the special ability. And whoa, I did 53 damage that time. Their infantry are charging up that hill along with some cavalry over there, but then these cavalry on the left side are all on their own. I'm going to try to flank those cavalry and take them out with ours. I think we'll be able to just snipe them out real quick. Oh yeah, they're in the water too. This is perfect. If I can just hit shots. One, oh yeah, this is super ideal. I can't actually move forward. There's like an invisible wall there or something. I want to take out that guy with the super nice helmet. Oh, he blocked a bunch of that damage again, and we knocked out a Grail Knight. That's like a tier 9, I think. We definitely want to recruit that guy. I took out the last cavalry of that first group, and then the enemy split the remaining cavalry into 2 more groups. And you can see this one on the right is all on its own. They're doing that thing where they're just stuck in the water again. This is beautiful. I'll just take you guys out if you don't mind. I'm just missing all my shots though. Nice shot on the Grail Knight. Did we knock him out? I think so. Actually hit there. Their cavalry again are a little split up. Very nice. Oh, headshot. I was gonna comment on the headshot on the horse, but headshot on that dude was even better. The enemy only has 31 infantry left and 2 cavalry. And I'm wondering if we can just hold this position and just snipe at these dudes. Oh, nice. I think I just broke through some dude's shield or something. Oh, there we go again. Broke through their shield, I think. Oh yeah, this is good. I'm gonna try to use Arrow of Kurnos here. I can just get a good position. There we go. Got a couple kills, a lot of AoE damage there. I'm getting more kills after the fact. Wait, what's going on? Oh, it's a damage over time effect. It's killing them, I guess. 15 enemies left, 5 of which are pretty trash. Do this slowly and methodically. Do not want to get killed here. I think the bowmen are all on the left side, yeah. Just focus them, I guess. Wait for them to stop drawing their quivers, or dropping their arrows. 99 damage does not kill them. That does not kill him. Wow, these guys are beasts. Knocked out a bowman. Nice. 144 damage does not kill that guy. What the heck? We did another loop around, and I'm going to try again from this position. I really am going to be careful, though, because I do not want to lose at this point. 2 hits in a row. Very nice. Just got to hit their archers. That's all I care about. Jock's down. Whoa. They actually got a shot off. What are they doing? They're not even coming towards me. I think I actually put our... Whoa. Holy Grailman. What's that? 175 damage does not kill. That headshot does though. Or it knocked him out. Wait, this is really good. I put our cavalry on the opposite side of the lake. 177 does not kill. I feel like their infantry are going to be sneaking up on me in a second here. Do like a jump scare. Okay, very nice. And I guess their last 3 units are trying to flee. Cannot let that happen. Whoa, GG. That was another brutal battle. I got 20 renown. We plundered 208 gold from Jox. He was kind of poor, but we captured him. And we captured 2 of his bowmen of ButterLib, which have 270 bows. They're tier 9. Yeah, those guys are beastly. They have U bows, which aren't that great, I think. Their arrows are decent, I guess. The rest of their equipment looks pretty trash. They do have 190 HP and 25% damage amplification. Very interesting. We'll definitely pick up both those guys. And then how about these Holy Wardens of La Masontal? Tier 9, 270 bows, and they have woodland longbows, which again aren't as good as elvish bows, I don't think. They have bearded axes and only 1 quiver. And then again, they have 190 HP, plus they deal extra holy damage, I guess. Very interesting. We'll definitely pick up both those guys. Plus we want these Grail Knights. We got 3 of them, and they are the tier 9 knights that have 270 stats. And they again have 190 HP, but they get 20% damage amplification and 35% damage resist. I think when we turn these guys into companions right now, we lose the damage amplification and resist. Let's try to pick the Grail Knights, and we don't have room for them is the only issue. So what do we dump here? The Loix Tricksters are only tier 7, and they only have 170 HP. They're not as good, I think. And then the Waywatcher Sentinel is just a regular unit that's upgraded to tier 5. We don't care about that thing. Let's dump some of these Loix Tricksters as well. We managed to loot one of their really nice Grail Knight capes, which is better than mine, but then I lose the damage amplification and I lose the roleplay aspect. You can see what it looks like. It's not nearly as cool. Oh yeah, I can't use that. I'll give it over to this Knight of the Realm boss who was missing a Grail cape. There he goes. And as for the rest of the equipment, the bows are not as good as the Elvish bows by any means, but we can sell them. We dumped off enough goods at this caravan so that we can now recruit Jocks for only 10k, because his skills are not great. He has 209 bows, so we'll probably just keep him as a bowman. And then his longbow is no comparison to the Wood Elf bow, so we'll give him over a Wood Elf bow. Plus a mount. The dude did not have a mount, I guess. This other equipment's terrible. 6 armor boots. We'll give him an upgrade for those. Gloves are actually really good. Then his chest piece, we'll give him an Elvish one, slightly better. And his cloak really sucks. Give him over a Eternal Guard cape. And we don't have good helmets, so he's out of luck with that. Over the next 4 days, we do a lot of trading with caravans, and we also take out a few of them. I'm not sure if I'm going to show every transaction here. I've already started editing this, and trying to document every single source of income is getting pretty time consuming. That being said, I'll try my best to show what I can, and eventually we get enough money to recruit 3 of the Grail Knights for 20k each, and one of the Bowmen of Bergeracs for 18k. The Bowmen of Bergerac have really crappy armor. It's not even really worth going over. Did give them over a Wood Elf bow, and then they have decent arrows. Then each of the Grail Knights has the best armor I've seen so far. The helmet's really good, but then these Bretonnian pauldrons with cape are really tanky. And then the Blessed Knightly armor I think is the best armor piece we've seen. These gloves as well are the best gloves we've seen, I believe. Same with these boots. Their mount is also really good. It does a ton of charge damage, not quite as much as the Elk, but it is extremely fast and has a ton of maneuver. And then they have the Bretonnian horse armor, which we already saw. I was going to just keep trading till we could afford to recruit the rest of our 8 prisoners, but I ran into this special dude, Morcar, who has 100 infantry, and it should be really easy to take this dude out. And okay, wait, maybe this battle was not worth showing. I'm looking at Morcar's stats, and they are terrible. We do farm a ton of XP, though, using Arrow of Kurnos. And then the second one also gives us quite a few kills. Off of that battle, we did get almost 17 renown, and we got 2 necromancer hoods and 3 tailored ones, which I think are just better versions of them, and they give us increased magic damage. I'll put one on and I'll see if it buffs Arrow of Kurnos. I don't think it does. We also got a few level ups off of that, so everything's now maxed out. We should get 50% more damage on Arrow of Kurnos, I think, too. And then I've been forgetting to spend our focus points, which I think we're just going to keep dumping into medicine. I think medicine is just so good. We also have a medicine perk, and we're never really stationary on the map, so we'll definitely take the increased healing while moving, and we get 10 HP after each battle, which is nice. And the rest of the focus points are going into control to help our bow skill. We're going to fast forward to day 69, and I have multiple reasons for that. Number one, and most importantly, of course, it's a funny number, but less importantly, it was on this day that we knocked out and captured another Minotaur, so we're about to have 2 beastly Minotaur companions. Speaking of companions, we've farmed enough money to make all the prisoners we had companions, except for the Minotaur we just picked up. And today on day 69, our companions are finally going to have the appropriate amount of HP. Up to this point, there was a bug where if you promote troops to companions, they weren't getting the appropriate amount of HP, and they weren't getting their special abilities, like the Dryads have 25% damage resist, I believe it is. Also, you may notice the Dryads have this unbound debuff, and up to day 69, I did not understand what this mechanic meant. Essentially, this debuff is going to apply to all our elf units, like the Loix Tricksters were a part of that elf army that we defeated earlier. If we scroll up, we can see like the Bowmen of Bergeracs don't have it, but then if we scroll up a bit more, we can see that Lady Arda does have it, and then we scroll up a bit more yet again, the Stag Knight boss does have it, and Lord Dythe has it as well. The unbound debuff comes from the fact that we don't have enough forest harmony. We currently have 560, and we need to get to 750 to make the debuff not as bad. Every day we get forest harmony based on how intact the elf lands are, and right now you can see we're actually losing forest harmony because 2 of the elf castles got taken. The castle of Tal Es got captured by the vampires, and the Summer Tree is a village that belongs to it, so we're losing a total of 10 forest harmony for that combo. And then the castle of Tal Driacha got captured by Bretonnia, and then Delandry is a village that belongs to it, so that's another minus 10 forest harmony per day. There are more ways to decrease or increase our forest harmony, and I'm pretty sure attacking elves decreases it, which is why our forest harmony by day 69 is so bad because I've been raiding elf caravans, which we're not going to do anymore, of course. We're just going to be trading with them. A way we can increase forest harmony is by fighting enemies within the elf lands, like these Ungor warbands. This one actually has some special Ungor lord, and we should be able to capture him and maybe turn him into a companion if he's good. And then we got another Minotaur that I did knock out. So that's 3 Minotaur companions that we're going to have pretty soon here. We captured the dude, and his stats are exceptional. He might have the same stats as the Elf Lords we captured earlier. We run down these 2 pretty big Beastmen parties, and then these 2 smaller ones for a bit more forest harmony. And then we beeline directly over to the Oak of Ages to try to spend that forest harmony before we lose it. Here we can spend 500 of it to unlock this symbol, which removes the penalty from having low forest harmony. So the HP of our character and all of our elf companions is going to be normal. Our daily upkeep cost for our units is going to be increased by 50%, and I believe that applies to all of our units, which is pretty brutal. We run into another traveling merchant, and this one has a really good helmet upgrade. I try to use it, but the feather at the top blocks our sight if we're in third person mode, so I'm going to give it over to one of our Knights of the Realm, and it is an upgrade on their helmet, but their helmet's still really good, and I'll be using that from now on. The helmet does unfortunately clip to our Wizard Hood cape, and it looks really strange. We do have a few more cape options that still look pretty good with this armor set though. The Gladelord cape's actually an upgrade, and it looks alright. We can't jack that from a companion yet though until we find them a better upgrade. So for now, the Eternal Guard cape also looks pretty good. The green from the cape does not match the green from the chest piece, but it could be worse. And just on a side note, we engaged another one of these Beastmen warbands, and this one had 3 more Minotaur that we were able to knock out. For some reason, it seems like there's a really high chance that you knock these things out and you don't kill them. And speaking of knocking people out, we now have this medicine perk that makes my medicine skill apply to enemies as well, which not only increases the chance that we can knock enemies out so we can capture them, I believe we're also getting medicine skill for knocking enemies out. And for that reason, I'm thinking let's put some more focus points into medicine and let's just get this as high as we can so we get more healing rate for our heroes. We now have 15 focus points in medicine, which is pretty good. And then we could start putting attribute points into intelligence to buff up that learning rate even more. And then we're gonna need someone with good engineering, whether that's me or a companion, I don't know yet. So far, none of our companions have any engineering whatsoever, so it looks like I might be the one to have to level that up. We also got another roguery perk, and we'll definitely take know-how so we get 5% more loot from defeated caravans. And roguery also gives us more battle loot. I didn't even know that. Let's just put some more focus points into that. And if we do max out roguery, we get this perk, which gives us even more loot. And then finally, we have another tactics perk. We'll just take the party size. We're not ever doing any hideout battles. Fast forward to day 83, we've recruited all the Minotaur. You can see their HP is all really low because we've been fighting caravans, and enemy caravans just absolutely own Minotaur. We also now have enough renown so we're up to clan tier 3, and we are eligible to create a kingdom. I want to get to clan tier 4 though, so we can become a Waystalker. There's some really powerful abilities up here, and the best way to get renown is to fight really powerful enemies like this guy Duke Hagen, who is the ruler of the Gisarix clan. I'm not sure what happens when you capture a clan leader. What I do know is these guys have a crazy amount of cavalry. This is just half of their cavalry. They have like, I think 100 total. Oh, it's not a good start. Already getting hit for not that much damage though. And yeah, a lot of their cavalry are going to be charging our cavalry. So I'm going to do my best job to try to just take out as many as I can. I have our cavalry and horse archers set to hold fire, and they're just following me. And when I run out of arrows, I'll kill one of our horse archers and steal their arrows, because I'm going to be way more effective than any of them. Essentially the plan is I'm just having the cavalry hold back because the enemy retreated to their original spawn point, which is great. I'm going to be trying to snipe out some of these dudes while I can. It looks like they're going to start charging now. It's alright. I have the slow motion, which is good. It is draining my career ability, Arrow of Kurnos, but I'm fine with that. The ability kind of sucks at long range. I think you have to get really close to the enemy to actually make use of it. So yeah, just bullet time it up, and then just take out as many horses as I can, and pull back, and I think the enemy cavalry will de-aggro in a second here. We're also getting charges back if we kill, so as long as I keep hitting people, not horses. Whoa, that's the enemy. Run. As long as I keep getting kills on dudes, then I'm recharging Arrow of Kurnos, and I'm going to be able to go slow mode, slow speed mode pretty much all the time. Yeah, the enemy cavalry just keep going back to their original starting place. I actually got a kill there. I did not even see the dude that I was aiming at. I'm not sure why they keep going back to their starting area when I send my units way far back, but I'm not complaining. This is a much easier battle than if they just straight up charged. There we go, I pissed them off. Now I'm going to charge. See if I can just get some slow-mo shots here. Yeah, we crush shields. And I think we do actually more damage if we hit through a shield, which is kind of nuts. Those dudes that are killing our nobles. 700 damage in the air. I'm pretty sure that guy has really good armor. Now they're trying to charge. I don't know if I can help it. Just aim for the horse if all else fails. And as long as we take out their horses, then it's easy peasy from then on. And there's some more dudes over here. A lot of them. Don't mind if I do. Could use Arrow of Kurnos here, I think. Or I have no charges on it. Yeah, the ability when they're backing off again. Okay, this is actually a really easy battle. Although it looks like they may have heard me here and they're just full on charging, I think. If I can help it though. And yeah, they're turning around. So, you know, we're learning new tactics here, if anything. Although I said they were doing something stupid. And they're doing a new strat. They're actually going to charge us. Well, not quite. It's weird, like these guys almost wanted to spear our cavalry, but then they just turned around. Can someone in the comments explain that AI to me? It's been a while since I've done a Bannerlord series, but I thought they would have fixed the AI by now. It would just be better, I think, if the enemy just straight up charged you in every battle, honestly. And stop trying to use these like weird maneuvers where they try to protect their archers, I guess. Because these guys don't even have archers, really. It's like 99% cavalry. Alrighty, so I'm pretty much out of arrows. So I'm going to take out Jox. He's like our worst dude. He's kind of just our walking quiver. And he does have a quiver on him, I think. Or he should. Not able to loot it, though. Okay, what about Holy Warden 1? Do you have a quiver on you that I can loot? No? Alright, well, I'm not sure what's going on there. Either way, I do think we have enough manpower to, whoa. They have a lot more cavalry than I thought. It says they have none up, but there's definitely cavalry there. And 54 infantry. I need to find one of the enemy bowmen and kill them and steal their quiver. I'm not seeing the enemy even has any bowmen, but I am seeing they have a freaking trebuchet. I don't know where the heck that came from or how they're managing to drag that around with them. And here we go. One of our dryads got taken out and dropped its quiver. Can I fill? Yes. Get on the horse. Oh. Okay, we're back in business, baby. Yeah, these guys are trying to load up the trebuchet. I have no idea what their plan here was. They're trying to trebuchet against cavalry that are moving constantly. Like, that was never gonna work. Alright, we won the battle for 18 renown. We just need, what, like 650 more or something? We did capture their lord, plus 1 Grail Knight, the tier 9. Definitely pick him up. And then we got 7 questing knights, the tier 8s. Which are not much worse than the Grail Knights. I think we'll pick them up and try to recruit them the normal way, then upgrade them into Grail Knights, and then turn them into companions. Off that battle, we got a cape upgrade. This looks much better with this helmet, but it doesn't look very elvish. We'll give that cape over to Lady Arda, who isn't looking elvish anymore. She's kind of done a full transition. And then I will take the Glade Lord cape. And I'm looking very nice. We run into this party of undead that has pretty much only infantry, and despite this being an extremely easy battle, we get 14 renown off of it. What is that, like 3 less than the previous battle, which was really hard. To increase the amount of renown we get, so we get up to clan tier 4 quicker, we're going to slap 5 points into leadership, so we can quickly get this perk, Famous Commander, that gives us plus 50 renown from battles. We also have another leadership perk, and we'll definitely go for the increased recruitment rate of higher tier prisoners. We also have 2 medicine perks, and I don't think Veterinarian does anything if all your cavalry are companions, so we'll just take this one, Siege Medic. For the next perk, later on, we will be waiting in towns as we're defending them, so we'll take Pristine Streets. We also got a scouting perk, 2% travel speed when following a hostile party seems really good. And then this bottom tactics perk seems like it kind of sucks. It only works against bandits. Coaching is less effective, but it works against everyone, so we'll take that. And then we're going to dump the rest of our attribute points into intelligence, so we can later on level up engineering, medicine, and then maybe even steward as well. Another way to get more renown is have less people in the party, and we're about to have quite a few less people because we're going to banish all of our companion lords as they're causing multiple game-breaking bugs by having them be in our party. They who will not be pinged did quite a bit of troubleshooting for me, and I did quite a bit of troubleshooting myself. And there seems to be multiple issues with turning enemy lords into companions that cannot be fixed because they're baked into Bannerlord itself. Without going too much into detail on these issues, the result was I'd randomly get to these points where the game would just crash nonstop and I couldn't progress. Also, if we have companion lords and we have the Wanderers symbol active, the game for some reason thinks that we don't have enough money to pay those companion lords, and our party will just constantly lose morale to the point where we have 0 morale and then lords are going to leave anyways. So yeah, I dumped all of our companion companion lords, which does suck because I paid them, what was it, like anywhere from like 13 to 15k for each of them. And because we paid that money, I felt like it was okay to keep their gear, and we're just going to give it over to our current companions. And it's actually not a bad trade-off because like these bowmen of Bergeracs have 197 HP and the lords only had like 150. Also, I believe the bowmen of Bergeracs had like 25% more damage. The holy wardens had some special effect. And then the low X tricksters have like 35% damage reduction, and they have more HP. So they're actually going to be better than companion lords anyways. Overall, not a huge loss there. And we're about to potentially recover some of our strength by taking on this dude who has 9 Grail Knights in his party that we could potentially knock out and capture. And he has 2 Grail Knight prisoners that we will definitely be able to save and hire to our party. This dude does have some pretty powerful units, so this battle might be a little bit rough. Whoa. Almost got speared there. I also really hate this terrain where it's like a bunch of trees and bushes, because that terrain does not affect the AI, at least as far as I know. Like they can see, you know, directly through it, I would imagine. It looks like the enemy actually doesn't have that many cavalry. They're mostly just infantry, so this might actually not be that hard. Oh, we knocked out a Grail Knight. Very nice. Here goes our Minotaur. They're going to be charging into the enemy lines. The Minotaur have been ultimately pretty useless throughout this whole campaign, but that's going to change once we take out a castle. I firmly believe. Gonna get some AoE in there to help them out. And yeah, they just get surrounded and they're gonna get cleaved down pretty quick. There goes like 2 of them. 3 down, 4 down. Yeah, they don't stand a chance when they're zerged like that. This isn't like Warband where 6 beastly infantry can just take down an entire group like that. Oh, and the one thing I did forget to mention is we have a new bow that I jacked from that Elvish girl. But like that was my reward for having to deal with all these bugs and stuff with, you know, well, we're actually knocking out a lot of these guys. I think the higher tier units are easier to knock and they're harder to kill. But yeah, this bow has 10 more damage, a little bit more speed, but way higher missile speed. I think that makes our arrows just fly further. Off that battle, we do get 14 renown. We capture Eyolf, who we will not be recruiting. Stats aren't crazy good anyways, but we will be recruiting these 2 Grail Knights, and we'll pick up the 9 Grail Knights and turn those guys into companions. And holy moly, that is an amazing cloak. I will be using that for myself, thank you. And that cloak actually looks really good with my current loadout. I don't look like an elf anymore really, but that's just too much armor to pass on. Off of that battle, we unlocked the next medicine perk, which is quite amazing. 5% extra healing rate, I believe, for each type of food in the party. And because we're constantly ambushing caravans, we're having tons of different types of food in the party. Right now we have 9. Not too far away from that battle, we take on another lord. And I love these bridge battles. The enemy cavalry are forced to just charge in like a straight line. And with slow-mo, I'm able to just absolutely mow these dudes down. For the first time, I think, ever in this run, I'm going through all of our companions and I'm giving them all their upgrades from their perk points, their focus points, and attribute points. I've been having everyone use a bow except the Minotaur for quite a while. And I noticed pretty much all of our Grail Knights now have dead shot, so they're going to be dealing a ton more damage. And the same goes for a lot more of our companions. I think I'm going to have everyone be using a bow except the Minotaur. I think they're just going to be a beastly tank line. We encounter another traveling merchant, and this one has some crazy stuff. Chaos Warrior armor has way more body armor than the one we're using, and it looks freaking sick. This noble armor is also really good for a companion. Huge upgrade for the Stag Knight, and it looks really nice. Plus these shoulder pads are amazing for him. They look good with that armor actually. And then Blood Dragon helmet doesn't look good with those shoulders, but then, well, okay, those shoulders don't really look good with it either. We'll give the helmet and the shoulders over to a bowman of Bergerac, I guess. It looks pretty bad on him as well, but maybe it'll look better if we find him a Blood Knight chest piece. They also have some insane horse harnesses. 120 armor for this. We cannot put it on this horse though, I think. Yeah, we cannot put it on. We have to find a demigriff. We can put on this horse royal armor though. Just 30 more armor than the one we were using, and it looks very royal, the gem. The merchant is again giving us a really good price for all of our gear, so we're easily going to be able to afford that, plus pretty much anything we want from this guy. Might as well just get the demigriff armor, the horse armor. And then up here they have another ornate bow, We'll definitely get that for our best bowman. Probably Grail Knight 1 because he's been with us for so long. For the next 20 days, we roam around trading and attacking caravans so we can afford to turn the rest of the 7 Grail Knights into companions. I also wanted to get him some bows, and if we try to steal them from the Wood Elves, then I think we'll lose the little forest harmony we have left, which is not a huge deal. As we're roaming around though doing exploration, I find to the north that there's another elf faction that we can freely attack. We're going to attack this lord who has 200 troops, but half of them are militia. And normally that would be no big issue, although Elvish militia have bows for the most part, and they're actually using pretty good bows, I think. Because we took out an army that was pretty big, it was like 150 units earlier. I'm seeing somebody is spellcasting. I've not seen any spellcasters yet. It's the first spellcaster that we've been fighting. But yeah, we took out a pretty big Elvish army earlier with about 50 less units, and they dropped like 6 or 7 Wood Elf bows. So I'm hoping we're going to get even more from this army, and we'll be able to give all of our Grail Knights bows. You also may notice in the bottom right, we have way more arrows now, and that's because these elves have really big quivers. They deal less damage though, so the Wood Elves are about having less size, but they know how to use it better, I guess you could say. Personally, I don't really care about the extra damage on the quivers because I'm one-shotting everything for the most part anyways, even if I just hit in the body. So I just prefer to have more arrows. And I'm just thinking in the long term, like when we finally do sieges. Oh, there's a lot of dudes left still. That's a lot of XP for our AoE ability. But yeah, despite the fact that she had 200 troops at the start and we only had 40, she was running away from us, so she knew that we were stronger. Our Grail Knights just are so powerful. And with great power comes great wage cost. Our wages are 5k per day, which is pretty brutal. We are still managing to pull a profit by beelining between caravans and trading goods, but it's getting harder and harder. Off of that battle, we get a whopping 27 renown, and we only ended up having 8 units wounded, and most of them were Minotaur. We did capture their lord, who's apparently a Storm Witch. She might have been the caster. Plus, we also managed to capture 7 of these Eonir Envoy guards. These guys are tier 9 with 270 in their skills, and they have really good bows. This is the same bow as the one I'm using, I believe. They don't have any special attributes, but they do have 190 HP. Off of that battle, we only managed to get 3 Wood Elf bows, but we did manage to get an Assrite Ornate bow. Plus up here, we got a few good quivers, and then some really expensive gear at the very top. Overall, that's a huge W. For the next few weeks, we'll be farming these elves for their bows and quivers, and we're getting a ton of XP. We have 5 level ups to spend, and I think we're just going to keep jamming focus points into medicine and all of our attribute points into intelligence. So we're learning medicine at a 52 times rate. We're up to 299, and we got some perks here. We'll definitely take Fortitude Tonic for the extra HP. And then we'll definitely take the troop recovery rate here. But then finally, the reason why I've been jamming so many focus points into medicine, because Minister of Health seems really broken. All of our troops get plus 1 HP for every skill point above 250. Right now we're at 299. I'm looking at our troops HP, and it doesn't actually say that we're getting any bonuses from that. We are getting Fortitude Tonic, the other medicine perk, but we're not getting the extra 50 HP that we should be having. Maybe it applies once we're on the battlefield or something, I don't know. We also have a leadership perk. Let's just take the party size limits, and we're 15 leadership points away from famous commander. That'll be huge. Then for the scouting perk, we'll take the top one because most of our party is cavalry, so we get more sight range. And the stewardship perk's pretty good once we start taking castles, plus 20% siege engine build rate. We get this random event pop-up that we've had a couple times before, and I did not know what to do with it. After a bit of digging, if you go below Aberheim, there's a chaos portal that you can enter. And this is a pretty cool event. We're getting attacked by a lot of infantry, and then there's some cavalry in the back, and they're charging at us through this ravine thing. I don't think there's really much we can do as far as our positioning. We can head over this way if we go back to the right over here, and then we can head to this more open area, which we'll probably end up doing. I try to have our units move to higher ground, but you can see there's a circle with a line through it on our flag indicating that we cannot move there. So yeah, we just have to fight these guys on the open field, and there is a lot of these pretty beastly melee dudes. Just gonna fire my Arrow of Kurnos that way. But yeah, with our cavalry just chilling back here, and our Minotaur with bows. Actually, I gave most of our Minotaur Wood Elf bows just because they were not having too much survivability with just charging in every time. With bows, they sit back and they have more survivability, so I think it's better that way. But yeah, let's drop a Arrow of Kurnos right in the middle of these guys, and that's a lot of kills. And then our Minotaur are just going to get killed, which is fine. I'm going to have our cavalry just follow me. I don't think I should have them skirmish in this area because it's such a small, tight area. So I'm just going to control them, basically. control their pathing by having them follow me. These guys have throwing weapons. They're not all melee. Okay, we gotta be a little bit careful here. Oh, and here's their cavalry. Whoa. I can't get taken out here. Although if I do, I have a mod now that allows me to control someone else. So I can keep issuing commands even if I end up getting killed. So it's not the worst thing, I guess. Apparently our Minotaur are doing work up here. They're gaining levels and stuff, which is interesting. I think maybe all of the infantry are following me. Because, yeah, how are Minotaurs still up right now? That makes no sense. Like, if you look way back there, you can see the little dots indicating that our infantry are still alive. So maybe these guys just completely ignored the infantry, and they are getting peppered in the back by our Minotaur archers. I just heard them do the save yourselves line, indicating that they're running. One would think that these terrifying Chaos Warriors would not be running for anything. It's kind of weird. I already won the battle, and we got a whopping 68 renown. We only lost 1 unit, and 2 got knocked out. 2 Minotaur got knocked out. We lost a Envoy Guard, don't care about it. We are victorious, and we can claim our reward. I'm guessing the plate armor is going to be the best, so we'll just take that. And then we could capture some of these guys, but I was looking over their stats, and they're pretty trash, like 270 in their skills, but they don't have any special attributes like damage reduction, which is really odd to me. They do have really good armor, though. I think this is the armor piece I'm using, and it's probably the best armor piece I've seen. And these shoulder pads are the best shoulder pads I've seen. The helmet is really good as well. I still think they're not as good as the Grill Knights though, because the Grill Knights take reduced damage and they do increase damage. And here's the armor piece we just picked up. It's actually pretty similar to the one we're using. It's got 5 less body armor, 10 more leg armor, and 5 less arm armor. Not sure which one's actually better. Kind of depends on what it looks like, I guess. This one does not look good with our current loadout. I think this one looks a lot better. And we did get a new cape that I don't think I went over yet. It looks really nice though, and if we take damage, it gets all red and bloody, which is awesome. The armor is slightly worse than the other cape, but it just looks so cool. And then it has the special effect that I don't think does anything for us. We get 10% more frost damage. These Chaos Warrior bracers are 11 more arm armor than the ones we're using, and they look pretty beastly. Very nice. And these Chaos Warrior boots are again 11 more leg armor. And again, they look freaking sick. And Chaos Warrior helmet, again, looks really good, although it's got the flag thing at the top, which is going to block our line of sight, so we can't use it. How about these shoulder pads? Whoa. I think I still prefer the White Wolf cape, though. I gave the plate armor we just picked up, plus the Chaos set, over to Grill Knight 15. He's looking like a boss. And we also gave him the Balanced War Razor these guys dropped, which is insanely long. It does crazy amounts of swing damage. Pretty much immediately after that Chaos Portal event, we get another Traveling Merchant, and this one has the bow that we've been after, the Armory Waywatcher bow. It's got 15 more damage, which we don't care about too much. We're one-shotting everything, but the 1 more accuracy could actually end up being a lot, and then the 25 missile speed is going to make our missiles just fly like freaking bullets. That Chaos Portal event also repopulated the herd stones, and again, I did a bit of digging onto where I can find those, and we got this herd stones near the castle of Obelheim. This battlefield seems much more beneficial for horse archers. There's a lot of open terrain. I can't really see what's going on here. Apparently our archers can see through the mist. And here we go. I'm seeing a lot of Minotaur. I like the way they're doing their shields. They have like this Roman shield wall formation. It's like probably the coolest thing I've actually seen in Bannerlord so far, with the way they were interlocking their shields. Oh, yeah, this is so much XP. But yeah, this battle is looking super simple. Our horse archers are just going to kite them, and yeah, this should be potentially all the renown we need to get to clean tier 4. And I did get hit by a few arrows, and you can see my cloak is bloodied up. That is by far the coolest cloak I've seen in this game. Off of that, we got 52 renown and a special piece of gear. The helmet's the only thing that could be an upgrade for me, so I'm just going to take that. And then here's the helmet we just picked up. Not a huge upgrade, and it looks freaking goofy. I look like freaking Captain America or something, or like the Flash, I don't know. I found another Beastman Herdstone across the map next to Castle Guardon. It did take us about 5 days to ride over here, but it's just so much experience. Like, I just got to level up from that, and we're going to get a ton of renown. We actually are like only 20 renown away from the next clan tier, so we didn't really need the renown, but I also wanted to get the special weapon or special armor piece. Maybe it's something super good. You could say we're just doing this for testing purposes. For winning that battle, our tier did increase up to 4, and we got the Blood Dragon Knight armor. I think we should definitely take that. That armor is going to look really good on our Bowman of Bergerac, who has the other Blood Dragon stuff. And we did find these Blood Dragon gauntlets from a wandering merchant. And we found this prosthetic leg as well, which, yeah, we should probably change that out. I guess these Queen Guard boots actually look a bit better. Because we're now clan tier 4, we're now a Wave Stalker, so we get access to some really cool abilities. Mainly the fact that our arrows can pierce multiple targets. I'm really excited to see how that's going to play out with our new bow. And then our archer units gain 50 points in bow skill, which might be all of our companions if they have a bow, or maybe it's just archer units. Our special shot efficiency is doubled. I'm not sure what that means. Maybe it only uses like half the resource, but then it loses its seeking ability, which I don't even know it had that, but the damage of it is doubled. Right now we don't have any career points, and I'm wondering if we do more level ups, if we're going to get more, or if we're going to have to figure out something to dump. I tested it, we just got a level up, and we did not get more career points, so we're going to have to dump something. I'm thinking we'll just completely dump out Hawkeye. Like, I'm not going for headshots anymore, and the slow effect doesn't really matter too much. The damage of Arrow of Kurnos increased by 50% is nice, and then time being slowed down is also nice, but I don't like how we lose charge on Arrow of Kurnos when we're zoomed in. So yeah, we'll just trade out Hawkeye for Eye the Hunter. Before we test it out, we're finally up to 100 leadership, so we get the extra renown gain from battles. I don't think we really need renown for anything though. This is like one of the first perks I've run across where it's actually a difficult choice. Normally it's just so obvious which one to choose. 30% faster non-bandit prisoner recruitment sounds really good actually. Let's take that. Right now we have 18 of these Eonir envoy guards that we're trying to recruit. They have the Aserai ornate bows, and I don't think they're good enough to make it to companions because they're like 23k. They're more expensive than the Minotaur and the Grail Knights, which is odd to me. They don't have any special abilities, just good bows. And we also have 7 of these grenade launcher troops, and I want to try to recruit one the normal way and see if their grenade launcher is manageable. I was noticing it was doing friendly fire, so that could do more harm than good. But if this guy is good, then we'll make a bunch of grenade launcher companions. We have a little forest harmony built up, and we're going to spend that at the Oak of Ages to increase HP of all of our elves by 20% with 2 of these upgrades. In order to get more forest harmony for more upgrades of the tree, we have to liberate the elflands from the vampires. They own Tal S and Tal Driacha over here. We're going to start by taking on Tal S. It is going to take us quite a while to build a siege camp because we have no engineering, or at least we had none when we started. After building the siege camp, we're up to 30 already, and that's because I put 13 focus points into engineering, and we are very smart now. We have 49 intelligence. We can get an upgrade, and these both kind of suck. We'll take the ranged siege engine build rate though, I think. And alrighty, here we go, our first siege. And what the heck is going on here? These guys are just charging out. We're just going to take them on as they charge out at us. Not sure why they're doing that, but yeah, you can't see my damage by the way because I removed the whoa, that's a lot of freaking kills. I removed the damage meter from the center of the screen because that was just clogging everything up. But yeah, I am getting multiple kills with these arrows, and wow, we just got to kill them before they get to our main troop line, I guess. These guys are going to be sending out probably big armies to try to stop us. So we want to lose as least units as possible. They're getting pretty close to our troop line, although none have gotten to our troop line just yet. And is this all of them? Yeah, this is all of them. I just took out 500 units pretty much by myself. That's actually kind of nuts. For winning that, I got 301 renown, and our party got 152 morale. I guess our party just watched me take on 500 units, and they're like, yeah, we can do anything. We did take a bunch of them prisoner, and like these Castlins are pretty good. They have 20% damage amp and 20% damage resist, although they only have 240 in their skills, and there's just so many better options at this point. Maybe we can sell them off though. As for loot, we got a vampire horse harness, which is much better than the horse harness that this guy was using, and then a rusty version of that, which is not as good, but still better than what he was using. And then a bunch of random weapons and armor that we can sell. So apparently we cannot ransom prisoners at Tal S because it's just a castle. I think if we take the vampire town though, we can, and we could get a lot of cash that way. We can use that to make more companions. As we were heading over to take the vampire town, we ran into 2 of their armies totaling about 900 units. They're traveling to Tal S to besiege. It's much more beneficial for us to defend a siege rather than try to take them on the open field. So let's head back over to Tal S and try to defend it against them. The vampires got scared, but then this other army showed up, and I think we're going to be seeing a lot of this where we're going to be fighting multiple factions at once. Apparently this faction is Bretonia, and yeah, they do have some bowmen, unlike the vampires. I don't think they had any range units, so I was really looking forward to just mowing down vampires and just having an easy siege defense. These guys are not looking like they're going to be too much more difficult, I guess. I feel like this is actually a pretty easy siege to defend, just based on how I can just own these dudes as they're heading through the bridge. They're just funneling in. And Kronos. Boom. Alrighty, they've kind of breached. I'll pull back a bit. And I pulled back to where all of our units are currently at. We got our Minotaur Bowmen, who are actually taller than these other guys. So I think they have the ability to fire like over their shoulder maybe. That's kind of cool. So one advantage of being taller, I guess. And yeah, this is a really weird siege. But essentially I plugged up this road thing here. And there's a visible wall that makes it you can't travel over these hedges. But you can fire over them. Oh, these guys are fleeing already? What the heck, we just started. Yeah, the rest of the enemy is fleeing. I will say it's really funny to see these really armored and high tier troops fleeing. You don't see that too often. Off of that, we got 43 renown. It says I earned 99% of the loot. Well, I think that's because the castle had militia here, so if they got kills, they could have taken the loot. I guess they might have gotten a few kills. We did manage to capture 2 of their lords, and we got 3 Grail Knights that we can capture and recruit. The vampires come back to siege with quite a few more troops, and I think they're sending in their casters first, which is amazing. So I did a test run on this just to, you know, see how it would go. And they have some casters that do AoE damage. And so I'm trying to take them out first. I think the dudes I initially killed were the casters. And like they had so much movement speed because they're really high level. So that's why they came in first. Hopefully. I took out quite a few of them and then quite a few of them breached. Up there we got some archers and some archers up there as well. And I put some more archers way up there. And then they're in another tree. Yeah, way over there. Put a bunch of archers. My goal with splitting them up like that is I don't want any groups to get caught by any nasty AoE abilities. And so far that seems to be working. We've taken out 600 and we've lost 2. We of course kept the Minotaur in the backup here with all of our really good archers. And the enemy is not really looking like they have too much of a chance here. I do think with other factions it's going to be much harder. Like there are factions that have big cannons and stuff. So I think the vampires just make us suck. And I don't think the other sieges are going to be this easy. They have 340 left, but I think they're actually all fleeing. I don't really want to run them down on the open field because they're going to have cavalry and stuff. So I'm going to try to take out as many as I can here. I don't know what they're doing over here. They're not retreating. Just kind of chilling near the exit. It's very strange. Alrighty, we won the battle. We got 74 renown only. I wonder why we got like 340 on that one battle. We're going to be able to capture a ton of these dudes. It is a shame that we can't turn any of them into companions because I know that some of them are casters and they have some cool abilities. I guess that army was dragging around 186 prisoners, 9 Minotaur that we can just straight up recruit to our party. We'll actually take all these and we can dump them in the garrison. Before that battle, I put 6 focus points into athletics and 5 focus points into riding. And off of just that battle, they went up to, I guess, the max 356. I don't know how that's really possible, but yeah, we'll just go through these perks really quick. A lot of these are really not doing much for us. Increase hit point regen while traveling. That's nice. Increase party speed by foot troops in the party. Oh yeah. And then Mighty Blow should give us 106 HP. I'm going to put some more focus points in athletics so we can maybe get a ton more HP with Mighty Blow. More battle morale penalty for the enemies with the range kills, yeah. Less escape chance of prisoners in our party. This one's actually pretty good. We have a bunch of Lord prisoners and they keep escaping, but sometimes they don't and then they'll actually pay us money to free them. More armor to our mount, sure. I mean, the mount's never dying. And then more charge damage and maneuvering by quite a bit because we're way above 250. And then yeah, with the rest of our attribute points, we're just going to put them into intelligence and the rest of our focus points into engineering. We make it back over to the town of Parvon and we are sieging it. There is a lord that's, whoa, we're getting attacked by 86 beastmen. These dudes cannot be for real, right? They have 1 Minotaur and we have like 20 in our party right now. Yeah, I'm not sure what the heck is going on here. That was really weird. Well, thankfully that little ambush did not break our siege. And we have more Minotaur coming in. It's like some type of, oh, we got a freaking army coming in over here. I'm kind of down to fight the army, honestly. Okay, yeah, here they come. This battle will, I'm sure, be more bloody. That was some AoE ability coming from someone. I'm going to try to seek out their casters. This battle is definitely be bloodier than if we fought them in a siege. But overall, these vampires are just pushovers. Assuming we can find their caster, take them out. This battle scene's kind of crazy. It almost reminds me of the scene from Lord of the Rings, where like there's just so many enemies. But then we charge out. I'm taking a lot of damage, by the way. I might get knocked pretty soon here. We are definitely taking some punishment here. I do think our non-companion Minotaur are getting the bonus from the medicine perk where they get more HP. I don't think our companion Minotaur are. I think the way it works is like as soon as we enter the battlefield, our non-companion troops just get a bunch more HP. And so yeah, the 9 or 10 Minotaur we just picked up are just beasting. Like I've not seen one of them get knocked out yet. We won the battle and got a whopping 96 renown, and not a single troop got knocked. That's what I mean. We also managed to capture, I think it was 5 of their lords. Plus we rescued 3 more Minotaur from their party. And alrighty, the time has come for our first siege, and we're probably gonna end up losing some dudes here because the enemy does have siege weapons. I'm gonna try to get in there and just do what I can. Normally you can build siege weapons, like you can build artillery, and whoa, is that hitting our dudes? No one got hit yet from that. Looks like some of our infantry have breached and they set up ladders. Can I just drop my AoE right here? Oh yeah. Don't mind if I do. And then I'm gonna head over for these ballista things, or catapults, or whatever they are. Hello? Take you guys out. And then where's the other catapults? I just told everyone to charge. We got a 2-for-1 right there. And there's the other catapult. Gonna be inactive in a second. And this one as well. Whoa. Okay. 450 damage from that thing. We'll just fast forward this one and let it play out. So far, so good. We're losing a few units here and there. And it's unfortunate that I did not actually destroy this catapult. I think you can actually destroy it if you just shoot a bunch of arrows into it. Maybe you have to melee it. We did end up winning. Got a whopping 183 renown. And yeah, 17 units got wounded. The town is now ours. And for the first time in this run, we're going to be able to visit a trader. They have 39k. For the first time, we can also visit a tavern. And there's Ropot, the life wizard here for 20k. And despite this guy's name, he has 0 points in spellcraft. Although I guess he is a wizard. He has the ability to learn life magic, I guess. He can fire a projectile in an aimed direction. And then he can buff an ally's weapon to deal additional magic damage. And as for the rest of this stuff, it's all locked. And I don't know how to unlock it. Because we now own a town, we can dump all the prisoners off at a ransom broker, including the lords, and we don't get that much for the lords. We're only getting like 3 to 4k for each one. Those lords are then sent to the dungeon, and because we own the town, we'll get ransom offers for each lord for like 3 to 5k. So yeah, owning a town is super profitable. We headed over to siege the nearby elf castle of Tal Driacha, and while doing that, Parvon got sieged again. We were able to take Tal Driacha very easily. It was a super simple battle, and then we made it back to Parvon in time and just took these guys on the field. It was 600 units, but I didn't have any trouble dispatching of them. I think we only ended up getting like 2 or 3 wounded. And then for ransoming all the prisoners, we got another 50k. We're getting sieged by some other faction, and for some reason they were able to build trebuchets, which are knocking down our walls. They start with like 60k HP and they're pretty much down to 0. And for some reason we were not able to build counter siege equipment. And there we go, our walls are completely destroyed. Now they're gonna attack us. The siege is gonna be a little bit different than the other ones. The enemy actually has trebuchets in the back that are bombarding us, and I could get one-shotted yet again, and so could a lot of our units. So this is obviously not ideal. We probably should have just ambushed them on the open field. I just kind of wanted to see the whole thing play out. But yeah, our infantry is just gonna have to plug this hole, which was breached by the enemy destroying our walls. And I'm actually gonna ride out and try to take on these trebuchets myself. Just take out these trebuchet operators. And then my bow actually does not do much damage to these things. You'd think I'd be able to like 2-shot this with how much damage I'm doing. The better play is probably just to spawn camp these guys and just take out whatever's operating the trebuchet rather than trying to destroy it myself. Alright, we did manage to win the battle. We did lose quite a few of our militia guarding the town though, which does suck. And I tossed some units in the garrison. I didn't lose any units, just 4 of my party got wounded, and we did capture 3 of their lords. Plus we liberated 7 more Minotaur that we can add to our party. Okay, that's actually a massive W. We'll just take the rest of these guys and toss them in the garrison as well. Plus we're going to dump these 500 prisoners and the 3 lords for almost 50k. We're going to use some of that money to pick up another companion. Hildegard the Bright Wizard is at Parvon's Tavern. And then there's this girl, Luthien the Glade Captain, for 10k. And her stats aren't crazy good, but we can assign her to be the governor of Parvon, and she gives a lot of bonuses to Parvon. It's going to be either her or Hildegard the Bright Wizard, who gives no bonuses, and Ropot the Life Wizard, who gives basically no bonuses. For some reason, the troops that we promoted to companions cannot be governors. It has to be one of these people that we pick up in taverns. So we're definitely going to assign her the governor, and she's going to make building stuff here a lot more efficient. We're right now building a siege workshop, so our wall repair speed is better, and we get more siege engine production speed, which hopefully that's going to allow us to make anti-siege stuff. Parvon already has some improvements like tier 3 fortifications that increase garrison capacity capacity, a tier 2 garrison barracks, which also does that, tier 3 workshops, which increase construction speed, I guess, and then a granary, which gives more food reserve limit. Fast forward quite a few days, we still own Parvon and still own Tal and Avarian for a little bit. The elves are going to retake that, and then we took the castle of Grunir, but the elves retook that, and it was the same for this castle down here, I believe. Helping the elves retake their lands has had its benefits. Our forest harmony is almost completely maxed out, and we're only losing forest harmony because the elves or me do not currently own Tal S. I do plan on retaking that, but first I want to spend all of our forest harmony on strong branches. We're going to get all the upgrades for this, and then we're going to increase the daily harmony gain we get from settlements as much as we can. So we're now getting +5 forest harmony per day. The HP upgrade we just got only applies to our elves, so Stagnite gets +90 HP, the Low Tricksters get +95, and then the Dryads get +153, so the Dryads are really tanky. My HP has gotten a little bit out of hand. That upgrade has given me 239 bonus, and I'm at 720 max HP almost. For some reason, with only 11 focus points invested in athletics, I'm up to 609 athletics. I think that's some kind of bug. So I went into the game files and changed our athletics back down to 300 and removed all our focus points into athletics, so we can't level it up anymore. We will still be getting a bit extra running speed and knockdown resist and 50 more HP for Mighty Blow, but that's the only benefit we're going to be getting from this. And then riding is capped out at 300 as well. We get a bit more charge damage and maneuvering speed, and from 300 riding we get more horse speed and some other bonuses to our horse. Also, I did a few nerfs, mainly to bows, and I took out Deadshot from the main character. This perk alone was giving us 400% extra damage and like 100% extra reload, or 200%. We are still getting 112% extra bow damage and 92% extra bow accuracy from having our 1000 bow skill. And the final nerf we're going to do is to medicine. We're not going to take this Minister of Health perk because obviously it's not balanced that we would have 300 extra HP for our troops. We are still getting the increased casualty survival chance, which says it's only 5.7%. Doesn't seem like that's accurate, but the healing rate is the main thing we're after with medicine, and I'm fine with us getting crazy healing rate increases because we're going to be getting attacked by big armies, so that can kind of help us balance that out. One interesting thing to note is we've done, I want to say, like 6 sieges with 43 focus points invested in engineering and 95 intelligence points, buffing our learning rate up to 132 times, but we're only at 79 engineering. I'm not sure if the increases are actually working with this, or if it's just extremely slow to level up. I don't think those nerfs affected our AoE spell. We're using it on some really crappy units at Tal S, and it one-shots them still. After taking Tal S, we're now getting 39 force harmony per day, so that's pretty good. And while we were taking Tal S, Parvon got sieged by some army, and we're going to try to get over there and evade the elf armies. We've not fought any of the elves yet, and these guys are actually heading over to Tal S to besiege it, which is fine. Right now we're just trying to gain forest harmony and get all the upgrades of the tree, and we might turn on the elves. If we do attack any of them and we're the ones that are initiating the battle, we will lose all of our forest harmony, I believe. If they attack us though, it's completely fine as far as I know. But yeah, we made it over to Parvon, and 111 of our units are wounded, so I think the battle has already begun. I guess we can just get in here and maybe fight it. It says we cannot assault the siege camp and we cannot break in to help the defenders. Normally you have to sacrifice some units to do a battle like this, but the troops in our party are only companions, so we can't sacrifice anything, but it is going to allow us to just attack them, I guess. And it puts all of our garrison units on the open field, so we don't get any tactical advantage for defending a siege, which I think is kind of stupid. In regular warband, if there was a siege going on, whoa, that's a cool projectile, by the way, from one of our casters. We have like 6 casters now, and we can see the damage again. I re-enabled damage, and I want to see how much damage we're putting out. Did friendly fire there. Did friendly fire again, I think. Let's see how much damage we're dealing to these guys. 284, that seems more reasonable. I don't think we're piercing as many people. Like before I was piercing like 6 or 7 dudes, it seemed like. But now maybe our arrows are not piercing as much. 143 damage to that Reichsguard Knight, that seems pretty reasonable. Before it seemed like I'm not even one-shotting that guy. A lot of their cavalry made it into our infantry line, so we ended up losing a lot of our garrison units. And yeah, that just kind of sucks that you can't defend sieges like you can in Warband, where you can kind of like sneak in the back and you can enter the siege as it's going on. I don't know why they changed that system. Seems like every castle in town would have like maybe a back way in, or like you could ambush the siegers as the siege is happening, basically. We can try the AoE spell, and it's dealing 106 damage to I think even the armored units maybe. So I guess it just ignores armor. The better troops do have like 200 HP, so that ability is not going to one-shot. And some of the Elvish units are insane, actually. They have like 700 or 900 HP, so that's obviously not going to one-shot them. Looks like our piercing arrows are still strong enough to do a 2-for-1 on these guys. In that battle, we managed to take over 800 prisoners, totaling 131k. I believe this roguery perk is actually helping with that. We get plus 25% deals for heroes from ransom brokers, and I think that means they're lords, right? As we're selling prisoners to ransom brokers, we're getting a ton of roguery XP. We're never kicking, and the governor perks do nothing for our main character because they can't be the governor, so we're going to take the sell price penalty for weapons. We run into this elf lord who has 55 dryads and 3 ancient treemen. Those things are extremely powerful. I would like to maybe capture them and turn them into companions. You can see the size of them is massive. They're basically like Minotaur on crack as far as I know. I'm only dealing 70 damage to them. Okay, well, yeah, I think they have really strong armor maybe. Holy moly, those things are massive. Dealing 100 damage to the treatment, I think. Or maybe they're immune. Oh man, I knocked one already, wow. I pumped a bunch of arrows in that dude though. And I just noticed the little minion guys are all dryads. So you got the tree men who we just knocked. We knocked out 2 tree men already. And then we got the little tree men. That is such a cool army. We got, I think, the last tree man. And he gets knocked as well. So that's 3 tree men that I saw we knocked. I'm not sure what happened to the 4th. Might have also knocked him. Or I guess there was only 3 of these guys. And normally their upkeep cost is 75 forest harmony per day, which is crazy. And then each of these dryads has an upkeep cost of 3 forest harmony per day. If we ask them to become companions though, it's going to cost us 15k only. It should probably be like 50k. Their daily forest harmony cost is not factored in, so we can get as many treatment as we want. And we can see the HP of these things. 1800 with the Oak of Ages bonus, that's increasing their HP by like 30 or 40%. Normally the ancient treemen have about 1200 HP and a 25% damage reduction. These things are freaking beastly. They also have 40 head armor, 55 body armor, 32 arm armor, and 40 leg armor. And their branch fist does 150 damage and has 142 length, which is not that long. We could also give them bows. Maybe kind of a funny meme. At Parvon, I found out you can actually hire a bunch of these elf initiates, and then through a couple perks, we can give them a bunch of XP. This stewardship perk allows us to destroy weapons to give them XP, and then this one allows us to destroy armor. We've been getting pretty much unlimited weapons and armor from these battles. There's no way we're going to be able to sell it all, and if we just dump off that much, we get 4700, and that's the max needed. And 4700 is enough to upgrade all these militia into Asari Glade Guards. It does cost more and more XP each time we want to upgrade them to a higher tier. Like it's 8400 this time. And then the next time is 13.4k. And then the time after that is 15.6k. But after doing all that, we have 12 Asari Waywatcher Sentinels ready to upgrade. And these are the elves that have only 150 in their bow proficiency, but they have the same bow I'm using, the Asari Waywatcher bow. This thing's nuts. And they're decently tanky. They have 150 HP. Not bad for just a trash tier troop upgrade. This elf lord has been wandering around Parvon looking like he wants to siege, but if we're in Parvon, he will not siege. So I ended up just letting him siege, and this time we can break in to help the defenders. And in the process of doing that, we end up losing 6 infantry troops and 4 ranged troops. This was fine though, because I loaded our party up with really trash troops, and I just wanted to make sure that like somehow we were not going to lose companions off of this. So I counted the exact troops we lost, and yeah, it was just the normal troops that we lost. We didn't lose any companions. While we're getting sieged, I found out how to build counter siege weapons. Catapults are double the cost of ballistas, but do way more damage. They just have less rate of fire, and they have way more HP. I think the catapults are the way to go, so we're just going to build a bunch of those. Yeah, we have to click on the top of these little empty tower things. The whole system is not very intuitive, or I'm just stupid. I would think that as soon as you start getting sieged, it would just automatically start building stuff for you. And then if you want to change it, then you can. So far we built 1 ballista, 2 catapults, and the 3rd catapult is on the way. And they built a battering ram. Our siege weapons are going to start bombarding the battering ram though, I believe. Or, okay, never mind. We can only bombard enemy ranged siege weapons for some reason. That also makes no sense to me. But yeah, as soon as they build their ballista, we will start attacking it. And it got instantly destroyed. Building another ballista over here. That one should get instantly destroyed as well. Do we have a catapult on top of this tower, by the way? It says we do, but there's no animation for it. I'm not sure what's up with that. Are they going to destroy our ballista? No. Almost, though. They're going to build another ballista, huh? And destroy ours, and then they're going to attack, I'm guessing? Or no, they didn't even destroy ours. I'm just going to continue building ballistas, huh? Oh, okay, I'm going to actually change this. Move it to reserve. And then I'm going to put a catapult up here. Building this stuff is also giving me a ton of engineering XP. I think when this started, we were at like 80. This one does nothing because it's for governors and captains, and I'm currently not governor or captain of anything. The second one gives our engineer extra damage to walls, so we'll just take that. And then we're now up to 200 steward, so we can get this really nice contractors perk. Less wage and upgrade cost to mercenary troops in our party. We'll definitely take less wage costs anytime we can get it. None of our current troops are considered mercenaries, so it's not helping us. We've been at this siege for 7 days, and the enemy just keeps building ranged siege weapons and trying to mess with us, but I don't think they have any intention of attacking. So we're going to try this option to ambush them, which sometimes is available, most of the time not. And this is cool. We were able to spawn into our town, and we're able to attack these guys on the field. That is actually pretty nice. Did not one-shot that guy, wow. Where's my damage at? I think that was a lord that we just killed. Wait, this is another lord too. Don't mind if I do. Just take all the lords out.
Double kill.
I have no idea what that battle was. The enemy only had 32 troops, and we had 80. It takes us back to the screen, and it says the enemy is alert. We cannot ambush them right now. So we could just sally out and attack them. We're only outnumbered by 400 troops. We might as well just do that. And already we have 160 troops on the field. The enemy has 440. They have a lot of stag knights. I'm not sure if they have any treemen. So there's that. And then they also don't have any lords, I think. We injured all their lords, I'm pretty sure, in that ambush. That was a really weird mechanic. I'm not even sure where they added that. I find myself saying that a lot about Bannerlord. I'm not sure why they add a lot of the things they add. They are seeming like they're additions, but they're actually just like a net negative. My theory on a lot of Bannerlord's mechanics is a lot of the developers don't actually play the game and never did. The team that developed Warband is long gone. That's my theory on the game, but I have no real information to back that up. Let me know if any of you guys do have more information on that. Here's the main group, or this is their main infantry line. Let's drop an AoE in there. Let the damage over time effect do its job. Oh yeah, these are just militia, so it's not anything too crazy that we're getting kills. Oh, and that's a bit of danger. Should probably try to evade. Through this whole battle, the enemy elf archers just sat way too far back, and they did not really support their infantry at all. So yeah, this was pretty simple, or it would have been had I not got a crash when trying to use Arrow of Kurnos in this massive group of cavalry. I did the battle again and made sure to not use Arrow of Kurnos near any cavalry, and it was a pretty similar result. I did do a little limit testing with the elf archers and came out looking like a porcupine by the end of it. But as for the result, we're capturing a lot of these elf lords. Plus they had a lot of prisoners that we can just straight up dump in our garrison. 100 extra units for our garrison's great. And we captured 907 elves. And even more importantly, we reclaimed 4 of their Waywatcher bows that we can give over to our companions. That is amazing. I think we'll give 3 over to the treemen. Just try to make them beastly archers. And speaking of bows, we also got 6 ornate bows and 9 wood elf bows. Wow, that was amazing. In total, I guess we ended up capturing 10 elvish lords, and if we saw all the troops except the Loex tricksters, I actually really like these units because they have a 35% damage reduction with a decent amount of HP. Without the Loex tricksters, we're still getting 154,000. Since we're doing pretty good on cash, I hired 6 new Loex tricksters and kitted them out with the best stuff we had. One thing we have been lacking on is horse harnesses though. I've not been finding any decent ones in battle. We can buy them from the town's trader though. It's only 3k for a decent amount of armor. They only had 2 of the best ones, but the ones that are worse are only 2 armor or less. So yeah, their mounts are going to be decently tanky. In that siege, we ended up losing like 9 Waywatcher sentinels, so I went on a troop run to pick up 22 more. And I found out with our Waywatcher class, we can use Forest Harmony to give special ammo to different troop types. For 60 Forest Harmony, we can add 15% magical damage. For 90 Forest Harmony, we can add a chance for a slow effect. Or for 150 Forest Harmony, we can add 25% armor pen. I added the armor pen to our Waywatcher Sentinels, and I'm pretty sure that applies to every single one of them. I'm just not sure about the Waywatcher Sentinels in our garrison though. I would just keep them in our party, but we have to dump them off at Parvon because if we get sieged again by some army, I don't want to have to lose them while trying to get into Parvon. From destroying the Elf army, we actually gained Forest Harmony, maybe because they attacked us. We got some more upgrades to spend on the Oak of Ages. Earlier I picked up one more Thriving Leaves upgrade, and we'll grab another one, and it's now maxed out. So we're getting 15 Forest Harmony per day from that. We could also get this upgrade to increase our party size. we might as well. And two of those upgrades buff it from like 111 to a 155. And we get a negative 111 cultural penalty for being wood elves. I guess wood elves are not about size, but how you use it. After spending all our forest harmony, we're going to start taking elf castles, because I'm pretty sure we just destroyed a huge portion of all their troops. So I'm thinking we might just be able to run through the elf lands and take most of their stuff now. Or maybe not. There's an elf army coming for us with 400 troops, and she just decided to straight up attack us. So I'm not seeing right now that she has any triads. A lot of mounted units, which I cannot use my special ability on. Do not want to cause the game to crash. Their infantry made it into our archer line though, and this is going to be a bloody freaking battle, I think. I did use Arrow of Kurnos there because there wasn't too many cavalry. I think as long as I don't use it in a group of like 30 cavalry, I'm good. And then you can't use it near siege weapons as well. And our tree man made it into their archer line. I really don't want to be over here because it's going to be really bad for my HP. But I want to see the tree men just obliterate these things. Okay, he's not really like one-shotting them or anything cool. He's just kind of wandering around, distracting. And he's actually clumping them up pretty good. Drop an Arrow of Kurnos. Oh yeah, that is really well done by him. He did take a lot of punishment, and he does finally go down. He was looking like that arrow meme. I'm taking some punishment as well. I need to be careful. The thing with having these tree guys as companions, and like anything that's got a lot of HP, is they heal extremely slow. I'm pretty sure HP regen is not percentage based, it's just like a flat amount. So it might take him, 2 or 3 weeks to heal back his injuries from this battle. And for that reason, the low X tricksters that we just picked up are potentially going to be more effective than the treemen in these skirmish type battles, because they're not usually taking too much damage because they're mounted. And that battle was pretty brutal. We ended up having 34 units wounded. We lost 3 crappy units. We don't care about the ones we lost. For loot, we got another Waywatcher bow and 3 more ornate bows. As we're sieging another elf castle, we get attacked by this elf army, and they have another tree man in the party that we do knock out. So we now have a 4 tree man companion. The vampires are back with yet another army of about 1,000 units, and they're trying to siege this elf town that we took over earlier. We've taken over 3 of these elf towns so far, and their layout's not anything too interesting. It looks just like the elf castles. The only real difference is there's just more bowmen in the town. To defend this siege, I tried to break into the town, and we had to sacrifice some troops. And like you can see, we are helping here, and I do think the battle already began, but for some reason we were forced to fight this on the field. It wasn't so bad because there was a mountain that we were able to put our archers on. That did give us quite the tactical advantage, and these are just crappy vampires, so the battle was overall pretty simple. I really like defending towns against sieges because you can capture all the attackers and just straight up sell them to the ransom broker, and this siege was really profitable. We got almost 90k. Because it feels like we're getting so much forest harmony from these battles, we're going to change around our symbol from the Wanderer, so we now will get penalty for having low forest harmony, but our forest harmony gain will no longer be reduced, and our upkeep will no longer be increased. I haven't gone over the rest of the symbols yet. There's this one that increases treatment capacity, which I'm not sure what your treatment capacity actually is. But then this one also increases HP, which is nice, but lowers party size. There's also symbol of Ariel, which I guess would be good for our casters. It gives them more mana regen, but our casters right now really suck. Symbol of Orion lowers the wages of all elves, including elf companions, and a ton of our units are elves. We're actually going to end up choosing this one, and we can see how much it's going to lower our wage cost. Our wages go from 7k all the way down to 3.5. I also don't believe Orion applies to our garrison units, so our wage cost is still going to be around like 7 or 8k. There's 2 more symbols. Treekin lowers forest harmony upkeep, and that one actually might be good, and I'll explain why later. And then the symbol of the War Dancer is actually pretty nuts. 25% more HP for the player and all companions, and 25% more healing rate. Our regular troops just heal slightly slower, and we lose some forest harmony gain. For now, let's just go for Orion so we can grind up some more money. We can add some more companions to our party, and then let's just max out outposts to increase our party size. And doing that is going to give us like 70 more party size. Because our wages now are so manageable, I started turning a bunch of these Asari Waywatcher Sentinels into companions. What I like about these guys is their wage cost is only 12. It does go up to 54 when we turn them into a companion, but every single one of these guys comes with a Waywatcher bow. The art looks a little bit different on some of these. but you can see every one of these bows is the same, and the bow should make up for the fact that they only start with 150 bow skill, and they can level this up over time. These guys are also not that tanky. They only have 190 HP, although right now we're unbound, so their HP is lowered. Once we get rid of that debuff, they will have a pretty decent amount actually at around 240, which is still quite a bit less than the low X tricksters. When they don't have the unbound debuff, they have almost 300, and they have their 35% damage reduction, but the low X tricksters are a bit more expensive, and they don't come with a really good bow. My idea right now is we're going to turn 11 more of these guys into companions, and doing this is going to cost 9.4k gold each, which is not that bad actually. And after turning 11 of them into companions, our wage cost goes up by about 100 gold. It's been a few days since we checked out our territory, and here's how it's looking. We currently are controlling 4 towns, and one of them is under siege. We're about to go check that out. But before we do, we have a battle against 582 Bretonians. I gave all the Waywatchers really crappy mounts with no saddles, so on open field they're going to be pretty bad. Although this army is looking really trash. Or okay, maybe not. They have a lot of Grail Knights and other Knights of the Realm and stuff. I should probably just focus down their infantry first, and then maybe their cavalry will flee. I've actually seen that with these big army battles. If I take out enough of them, some of their mounted units will decide to flee. I did not one-shot that guy. And I was actually thinking, like, did I over-nerf myself by getting rid of the Deadshot perk? I was thinking, like, should I give it back to myself? I do kind of like the idea that, you know, my units have to actually do something, though. And I'm not just, you know, Thanos snapping my way to victory. I let our units delegate and told them to do whatever they thought was smart. And the AI thought it was smart for us to charge our archers into their infantry line instead of, like, kiting backwards. Very interesting. Because our forest harmony is so low, my HP is freaking low right now. I don't know what that hit was, but it feels like it almost one-shot me. We get about 300 forest harmony for winning such a big battle, and we're about to do an even bigger one. We make it over to the town of Grunnier in time to be able to save it from Emperor Karl Franz, and there was 2 armies sieging it, but one of them backs off, and the enemy was bringing up a siege tower of sorts. Looks like we've destroyed that. And okay, the enemy is fleeing. We have won the battle. In a matter of, I want to say like 2 or 3 minutes, we took out like 300 units and captured, I think, like 6 lords, including Emperor Karl Franz himself. That was the weirdest battle. We captured 1,100 units. Well, I have no idea what that was all about. All I know is we're going to get 180,000 for ransoming all these guys. We've now captured 4 towns, and the elves only have a couple more territory left. I'm hoping when we destroy all their territory, then maybe some of their lords will defect to us. As we've been doing battles, we've been getting a bunch of forest harmony, and we can now get this upgrade Healing Aura of Roots. All troops and heroes are healed upon using the world roots. For 500 more, we can reduce the travel cost, and then for 750 more, we can establish pathways back to the Oak of Ages. And then I'm going to go grind the forest harmony required to unlock the rest of these upgrades. At one of the last elvish towns, we found our 5th treeman companion, and eventually we get enough forest harmony to unlock these last 3 upgrades. So we now can teleport from the tree to different locations on the map. We've been capturing and selling a lot of the vampire lords, and our relation with them is completely messed up, but our relation with the elves and the men to the north is not so bad. And what I'm thinking is we can gain relation with them and then convince some of them to become our lords, and they can manage our castles and towns, because right now we have no lords. The teleport location is pretty close to this elf town, which I took over, and it's really easy to defend this because if we take any damage, we can head back to the world roots, teleport back to the elf lands, and anytime we do teleport, our entire party heals to full because of that upgrade at the world tree. After taking the elf town, they sent over a pretty massive army to besiege it, and I wanted to go in to defend it. We can actually try to break in to help the defenders, which is going to cost us some troops. We're fine with it though, they're pretty trash. Whatever. And if we do that, it says we can help the town, but I don't think we can actually help the town. And yet, unfortunately, we are forced to fight this on the field. I don't know why we can't defend sieges. I wanted to show that siege from the position of defending it, because it was actually a pretty cool loadout. And some big AoE coming from the enemy casters. Recently, I did disband all of our casters, except the Spellsinger, because they allow us to recruit treemen at the World Tree. But our other casters were doing pretty much nothing, except sometimes they would do friendly fire. And I think in Bannerlord, since the grouping system is so bad, it's better just to not deal with any units that do friendly fire. Like earlier, I did pass on some Master Engineers, which do big cannon AoE. but I've been noticing anytime I see enemy with artillery or master engineers or anything like that, they end up killing a lot of their own units, a lot more so than our units. And partly I think that's due to the fact that our units are mounted, so it's pretty hard for the enemy to get good AoE on them because they're always spread out for the most part. The battle was almost over, and I knew I shouldn't have used Arrow of Kurnos here, but it was just looking too juicy. Oh no. We fought the battle again. We got 20k gold from the battle. That was a lot. And then we're going to start releasing their lords. We're negative 30 with this girl. We might have fought her before and captured her. Negative 30 with this one as well. Negative 4 with Prince Faisalon before we release them. And then only negative 6 with Lord Lindelock. Well, there were 9 relation with Kaya Stormwitch. So after we release her, we'll be really good with her. And for loot, we got this insane cape. This is by far the best thing I've seen as far as a cape. Looks kind of dumb with this armor piece though. We could replace the armor piece with this one, which gives quite a bit less body armor and less arm armor, but a bit more leg armor. It looks way better though. And I kind of am looking for a change of clothes. Maybe I could just throw the other one in the laundry for a little while. Because yeah, I've been wearing that for, I feel like 200 days or something. Things starting to smell. Even though we let all the lords go, we still captured a ton of units and we got 100k for ransoming them. And this town is really rich. They had 72,000 that we were able to get for just selling some weapons. And should we pick up this new helmet? This thing is looking pretty nice. I just wonder if it's going to block my view when I'm trying to shoot. Not too far away from where that battle just took place, there's Commander Egbert Huybers of the Wasteland faction. And we do unfortunately have negative 30 relation with this guy. And this dude actually has artillery, which is pretty cool. I saw him just get a kill on one of our horse archer guys. Seems like he's only able to get 1 kill at a time. That time he got, yeah, just 1 kill again. Someone really ought to focus this guy down. I could do it, but it's a lot more fun to just watch him do something like this. There you go. So he just did a bunch of friendly fire. And that right there is why this mod should not have friendly fire. Like, the AI is just way too stupid. Friendly fire is something that should only be in games where the AI is not, okay, and perfect example of what I'm talking about. I'm pretty sure they just did more friendly fire. Good rule of thumb in games like this is don't give AI friendly fire, especially don't give stupid AI friendly fire. They have to be like actually intelligent. I predict another friendly fire here. No, they actually got through. We have no relation with this dude that we captured. We're gonna let him go. 13 with this guy. We'll let him go, of course. We're gonna let everyone go at this point. We don't need the money. After doing that battle, we used the roots to travel back to the Wood Elf lands, and we're spit out pretty close to the World Tree. We have to walk a little bit to get to the Oak of Ages, it's actually called. I don't know why I keep calling it the World Tree. At the Oak now, we can do the Cheery Spirits option, and we can rouse Treeman. We can only do that once, because I guess you can only have 1 Treeman in your party. You can see his skills are a bit less than the Ancient Treeman. The HP is pretty similar though. The regular Treeman only has 10 less HP than the big one. The main difference though is the armor. The Treeman has 40 head, 40 body, 26 arm, and 36 leg. The weapon I think is the same. The Ancient Treeman has 40 head, 55 body, so that's 15 more, 32 arm, which I think is more, and then 40 leg. It's not a huge difference, but I do think it is worth upgrading them to the Ancient. And to do that, we just have to dump some armor and weapons. There we go, we got the 3.3k they need, and we can now upgrade the Treeman to an Ancient Treeman for 200 more Forest Harmony. Oh wait, I clicked the button to turn them into a companion before paying the Forest Harmony to upgrade them, and that actually upgraded them without costing Forest Harmony. That was a little bit of a cheese bug. I won't abuse that in the future. Normally it's going to cost 800 to rouse the Treeman, and then 200 more to upgrade them to an Ancient Treeman. And that's probably all we're going to do with our Forest Harmony from now on, because you can see we've got all the upgrades at the branches, we've got all the upgrades at the world roots, and we don't need anything at tree symbols right now. Or I guess we could decipher the symbol of the War Dancer, but I am liking our reduced wages right now with Orion. The Wood Elves are back sieging our main town of Parvon, and they have no territory left. I don't even know why they're still a faction. These guys absolutely hate us. I'm pretty sure our relationship with them is just effed up beyond all hope, basically. We've been capturing their lords and selling them for a big profit. Had I been releasing them from the get-go, we probably would have had a lot of elf lords ready to go. The main reason why I was showing this battle is because I thought for sure there'd be some treemen here, but not a single one in sight, unfortunately. We will start releasing the Wood Elf lords, just in case when their faction gets dissolved because they have no more territory for a while. Then one relation with this dude though, it's not bad. Not too far away from Parvon, there's Mason Tall world routes, and I don't know if we unlock these or if there's just random world routes around the map that you can go to and you can use them to travel to back near the Oak of Ages, and then you get to heal everyone up using those. I don't know, either way, we head back to the High Elf lands, and immediately upon getting there, we're seeing another High Elf army besieging Tor Lithaniel. We'll use this option to break in to help the defenders, and we'll lose some units, sure, don't care. And then they abandon the siege immediately. Bannerlord siege mechanics are just so lame, in my opinion. In Warband, it's like you see a battle going on, you can just hop in and participate in the battle. Maybe less realistic, but in my opinion, it's more fun. I don't want to catch myself before I give Bannerlord any praise whatsoever by saying it's more realistic. Is it more realistic that a siege battle is going on and you can't hop in and attack the siegers while they're trying to attack the castle? Like as they're trying to breach the walls? I don't think that's more realistic. Maybe it's realistic that you can't just teleport into the castle, but like I said earlier, a lot of castles had ways that you could kind of sneak in from the back. So I think actually Warband is more realistic than Bannerlord, and it's a way better system in my opinion. So like another example of the devs of Bannerlord just not playing the game, just not caring at all. I think a lot of the devs from Bannerlord were like some type of imported hire from some, foreign country, and I don't even know if they have ever played a video game in their life. That's the only explanation I can give, because when you look at just the way Bannerlord is and the way development went, there's just so many features that the game is lacking that if the devs actually, played the game, you would have thought they would have implemented years ago. And if you look at the Bannerlord Reddit, there's a thread that pops up like once a month. Like, is the game actually finished? The responses are usually like, yep, the game still sucks. And yep, it's done with development pretty much. And this one hits pretty close to home, and I do agree it's nice to have the main character be aesthetically pleasing. I guess the elves hired some undead mercenary company to fight for them, because yeah, we got some undead lords here. Two that pretty much hate me, and Yado doesn't actually hate me too much. So I've been trying to recruit lords and I just could not figure out how. So I went to the Discord, and it seems like no one on the Discord is able to give a concise answer as to how. This guy says you need 3 to 5 million, good relations, and a kingdom that has more than 3 clans. And even if you have all those conditions met, some will still be annoying to get. I started grinding up relation with the elves and then destroyed their faction. I made peace with them, and then 20 days later, their faction gets completely destroyed. Like you can see all these people are lost, meaning I think they're just gone forever. Their leader, who I have 24 relation with, is dead, and I don't know how she died. It seems impossible for any people that I'm at war with to get killed, and if I do kill them, then another lord is just going to replace them anyways. So I think in this game, there's actually no point of executing lords. Furthermore, I took 2 of the high elf towns and then started rampaging through the vampire lands because they were being really annoying, and I started taking a bunch of their territory. And then these guys to the west kept attacking me, and I kept releasing their lords. I released them so many times that we're 100 relation with this guy, this guy, this girl, this guy, 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 and the list goes on. You get the point. I have good relation with a lot of their lords, and not a single one has dialogue option to convince them to join us. It explains how we could possibly get them to join us. My last hurrah in this game is going to be, I'm going to try to destroy their clan. I'm going to talk to their leader, who we have 100 relation with, and if I cannot convince him or any of their clan members to become lords for our faction, I give up, because there's nothing that we're doing right now that's actually increasing our strength. The more towns and castles we take over, the more territory I'm having to backtrack to defend. I'm basically just playing whack-a-mole, and I need lords to actually defend those castles and towns. Otherwise, there's just no purpose. You can see my main character's face is kind of how my face is looking right now. Everything just feels very hopeless, and I've been looking for a reason to quit for the last 50 days or so, just because the diplomacy in this game sucks the worst. Like, I don't know if it's a thing with this mod only, or if it's maybe a mod that I've installed that's messing everything up. I looked on the Discord, and it seems like other people are having the same problems. I'm only at 1.85 mil, and the guy in the Discord said you needed like at least 3 to 5 mil. So maybe that's the problem. And actually what I'll do right now is I'll just cheat myself 10 million. So there's just no way that's the problem. Gold's not a big deal for us anyways. Like, our gold supply is steadily going up as we're doing battles, but having 10 million or 1 million is not going to change anything. I'm going to finish off the vampires first because they're almost done for anyways. And one thing that's been really annoying that I want to document right now is the fact that I'm having to switch groups every single battle. They change. and some of our units that I think got knocked out go back to this top menu, which is absolutely ridiculous. Like, the game's too stupid to remember. Oh yeah, these guys all go in this group. So yeah, between each siege, I mainly have to put all the giants in one group, and it doesn't really matter where these guys go. Like, this would not even be an issue if we didn't have the giants in our party. The reason why it's an issue for our giants is because they actually cannot go up these ladders. They just get stuck at the bottom, and they end up preventing anyone behind them from going up the ladders. So the giants actually are a massive detriment to us in these sieges. I need to make sure they're all in separate groups, and I can just have them actually sit back. They're extremely tanky now. I did the symbol of the War Dancer, which gives everyone 25% more HP and just increases our wages. And each of these giant treemen have 3,000 health points. They can withstand a ton of punishment. And then if we do go back to use the roots, they will heal all that HP up instantly. So yeah, our setup is pretty nuts. And I did figure out Arrow of Kurnos can be used in situations like this, where all the enemy is really clumped up on top of the ladders, and the game will never crash usually if I just use it right there. If I use it too close to enemy siege weapons, then yes, it can crash. And if there's any horses nearby, then the game can crash. But there's no horses on the siege, except for the one I'm riding. And yeah, after using Arrow of Kurnos, it clears out all those guys on the top, and then I can just fast forward and let our units charge in. And they are pretty beastly. Like, our dryads, the smaller treatment guys, have like 600 HP, I want to say. They don't have good armor, so they're not, you know, extremely tanky. But yeah, and actually I should show the layout of this castle. It's a super cool layout and be awesome to defend a castle like this against some type of attack. You can see like in the back the art and stuff. I don't know if like this team has added all that. I don't think this is in Bannerlord though, like the base game, so I'm pretty sure all this art has been added. And this castle goes way back up there. There's tons of spots you can defend from, and yeah, this place is pretty awesome. I don't think this is an actual town though. I think this is just a castle. Yeah, that was just a castle, Castle Tempelhof, and we are gonna go take Castle Drakenhof, which I think is actually not a castle. I think it's an actual town. We're at the town, and again we can see that I have to move the Minotaur over to do this every single battle, which, as you can imagine, gets quite old when I'm only doing siege battles pretty much, and I'm having to do a lot of them because we're having to retake castles and towns as well. And if I were to continue this campaign and take over the entire map, I would have to do this probably 50 or 100 more times. And when you're doing things with that much repetition, small things like, you know, changing out people in different parties every single battle become not so small things, and they get a bit old. But yeah, unfortunately this town is not nearly as cool of a layout as the castles themselves, which I think is kind of lame. It might be lore accurate. I would much rather spend time defending a town versus just a normal castle. I don't really care about defending a castle. The main reason why, and the main way I've been getting all my money, is when you take over a town and like we capture all these guys, we're going to be able to sell them to a ransom broker. Whereas with a castle, if you defend the castle or take it over, there's no ransom broker in the castle. And I can only drag around 100 prisoners max at a time, or the party moves extremely slow and then you just start losing prisoners. But if I'm in the town and I take like 800 prisoners, I don't actually have to leave the town to go to the ransom broker. So I can sell all those 800 prisoners. But yeah, this is pretty much how I've been doing battles. There is thankfully a mod that allows you to fast forward. So I've just been sitting here fast forwarding these battles and letting our units just take over towns and castles. And that's been all the gameplay for like, I don't know, 80 days. And you can see we captured almost 600 dudes, and we can put all of them in our party, even though our prisoner party limit is only 130. And they will start escaping if we move, but we don't have to move to visit the ransom broker, and we can sell off all these guys for not that much profit. The real profit comes from defending against massive lord armies. So I ended up kind of fixing the lord's issue. If we go to the lord's hall in one of our towns that has a governor, we can talk to them and proclaim a new kingdom. And you may think I'm really dumb for not knowing this, but as far as I remember in Warband, you just have to conquer a castle and you automatically start a kingdom. I'm not sure why they changed it in Bannerlord, but yeah, the result of this is that when we destroy one of the vampire factions, we finally have the ability to get some dialogue with their leader. What's a bit odd about this interaction is you can see he does not like us, and he actually really hates us with negative 100 relations. If we pass this series of dialogue checks, we're able to convince him to join us. There is a condition that we just got to give him a
small loan of $1 million.
Why that whole thing is odd is for the remainder of the game, we don't get the dialogue to recruit any other clans. even if they like us. I think it's this mod, or maybe it's the Bannerlord base game that has a cap on how many clans you can recruit or something, and I guess our cap is met with 1. We can create clans out of random idiots we find in the tavern, and this is the only way we're going to get lords for the rest of the run. I made friends with another vampire clan, and not only would they not talk to me, they again got lost after getting wiped out, so they're completely gone, and I don't know how they disappeared, because I was dragging a few of these guys around as prisoners in my party before they disappeared. Here's what we're looking at as far as our clans now. We got the vampire clan, and a few of their members, including this guy Dietrich von Dole, has been taken prisoner by Volan recently. Before we try to rescue them, here's all our other clans. We got a bunch of tavern idiot clans, and these clans down here are also tavern idiot clans. I just forgot what I was naming them. After 578 days, here's what the world map is looking like. The green is our territory, and it doesn't even show all the castles in the world map until you zoom in. And yeah, we can see all the castles. There are so many siege battles that I've done. It has been so time consuming, and it's why this video has taken so long to make. When a bunch of people got captured, we were over in this area expanding, and we can use the world routes to go back to our elf territory, which we're going to do now. And that brings us way down here. Our army got captured at Tallerhof, so we're going to have to hike quite a ways. We almost got there, and then we got this notification that a bunch more people have gotten taken prisoner. Normally, I don't even worry about it, but I have seen multiple times that our lords have gotten taken prisoner in this area, so I thought we'd check it out. We got an army over here with 800 units sieging a castle for us, so that is super useful. We're going to leave them to that, and we're going to press on towards Tallerhof, which is where Volan was seen last. When I checked again, he was recently seen near Helgmart, which I think is going to be where all of our lords are at. So let's go check that out. And yeah, here we go. Grand Marshal Kurt's army. He's got 14 prisoners. If we expand his army, we cannot actually see what the prisoners are, but that's okay. We're going to fight them anyways. The way we're going to fight this battle is hit 0, F6, and then we're going to fast forward and just let our troops win for us. I'll go in and show the battle, or actually I don't have to fight myself. It's not necessary. I can show you guys our army just mowing down their units. Our army is just way too powerful at this point. We have 550 troops, and I would say about 100 of them are just kind of crap troops that we just have to help us drag prisoners around. And here's kind of their main group of units. This is a bad battlefield because there's so many trees and it's really hilly. So it's going to take a while actually. I'm just going to fast forward this one. Can't really see what's going on too much. Like we can zoom way out and we can see that we're just overwhelming these guys. And if you look on the right hand side, that pretty much tells you all you need to know about the battle. It's just not even close. With my superior tactics, we only ended up having 17 units wounded. Most of those were probably just trash units at the very bottom, I would imagine. Yeah, some Glade Knights and then just some crappy troops that we don't care about. We do capture Voland. He was among the group. And we're just going to capture all these guys. I've given up on trying to get relations with lords because there's no point from what I can tell. Part of the reason why there's no point is if we go to our party screen, we can see that there's 223 prisoners to talk to. And I've talked to, I want to say every single one of these guys, and none of them will join us. We can't even convince any of them to join us. And the reason why we have so many prisoners in our party right now is because I don't believe there's any chance for them to escape. We have this perk on the scouting tree, which gives us minus 50% chance for prisoner lords to escape from the party. As you can see, our scouting is insane. We have 857 scouting, and we get 0.1% party speed for every skill point above 200 scouting skill. And that perk is giving us 2.59 movement speed. And the reason why we got so much scouting is because I put 50 focus points into scouting and 55 points into cunning. So we're getting tons of XP that way. Our tactics is also really high, as is our roguery, so we're getting more loot. I'm not looting anything ever, so we don't care about loot. And then what's crazy are the engineering. We only have 275 engineering despite doing so many sieges. I think for setting up siege camps, you don't get much engineering. But then I noticed for building siege engines, you don't get that much either though. And it's crazy because I put 100 attribute points into intelligence and 43 focus points into engineering. We're learning it at a 127 times rate. And I still only have 275 engineering. Like, this game is just ridiculous. Another weird thing is we have 818 charm. I put 30 attribute points into social and 15 focus points into charm. And somehow we're getting so much XP in charm for doing I don't even know what. For a while, I was always releasing lords after beating them, and so I'm guessing this is the main thing that gave us XP. That party we just took did not have the lords we were after, so I'm guessing they dumped them in this town, although this town does not have any prisoners. But then this one over here does. It says that only 2 of them are cavalry though, so I'm not sure what's up with that. With siege battles now, I have a new strat. I put everyone in a loose formation, and then I just kind of spread them out. I don't worry about putting the giants and the non-giants in different groups because it's just way too annoying. The idea is we're just going to let everyone sit back and bow at these dudes. And they do have trebuchets, which are kind of nasty, but since we're in loose formation, it doesn't matter too much. And as you can see, we're just annihilating them. I'm not sure if they're going to actually use their trebuchets or their catapults rather. Yeah, they do. And they got 1 kill, I think, with that. But overall, they're really inaccurate, especially at long range. Another catapult volley, and it just completely misses. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Also, as long as I don't use Arrow of Kurnos like there, and I use it right here, I can take out a lot of dudes myself. And the ability does not take long to recharge because I'm getting charged based on our archers getting kills. So it's already recharged again after like, I don't know, 15 seconds. And I'll use it on this side. And yeah, as long as I don't get too close to that catapult or too close to that one, the game will not crash. And that rule holds true like 95% of the time. 5% of the time it will just crash just because. But I don't blame it too much because ability that kills like 60 dudes in one shot is, you know, bound to cause some issues sometimes. But yeah, that's going to be pretty much the siege. And I killed 203 using that ability just 3 times. It looks like we found one of the lords we were after. No thanks are necessary. We rescued this guy as well. This dude as well. I don't know who this guy is. He's just some random guy that one of our random idiots recruited. We got Tavern Idiot 1, the leader of the idiots. We got Nimlor. I like that name for our Tavern Idiot lords. Just sounds really stupid. Another dude. Another dude. How many prisoners are here? Okay, that's it. We also gain a bunch of relation with all of them for saving them, but we're capped out after giving them like 1 fief. So relationship and that stuff in this game is just so bad. The end game in general is just terrible. It just does not feel satisfying to do this whole grind of, you know, conquering the world. It doesn't feel like you're really accomplishing anything as you do. And I think that's definitely another huge misplay by the devs to not do more with relations. Like as you save lords and, you know, help them in battles, you should be gaining relation with them and, you know, cementing your relationships with them. Like we got one of our lords here sieging this castle, and it looks like they might actually lose, but maybe if we were to help them out, we could gain relation with them. And okay, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. We got 138 relation with Clan of Tavern Idiot 3. Is that because we have so much charm, I wonder? Maybe because I have so much charm, it's like messing with the numbers? Okay, well, regardless of that, my point still stands. The end game of this game feels extremely dissatisfying. And my main gripe, I think, is like as we keep expanding our territory and as our kingdom grows and we get stronger and stronger, we're not increasing our income at all. Like we're not able to pay our wages, which is something that was kind of a problem in Warband as well. Although some mods like Prisno actually fix that and you get a ton of income from castles and towns like you should. And the reason why you should get way more income is because how are these lords in the world affording their armies? They're running around with massive armies and they only have like 1 castle to their name. How are they affording it all? In Prisnos, even castles would give you crazy income from what I remember. And as you were increasing your territory, it really felt like you were actually increasing your strength. And then another thing that's bothered me is as you're increasing your kingdom territory, you would think more lords would be coming to you like, hey, I want to join your faction. But no, that's not the case at all. It seems like as we're growing in territory and as we're getting stronger, lords are starting to hate us more and more. We formed an army with a vampire lord and he made sieges quite easy with his evil cloud ability, and this thing never caused any crashes for me, unlike the Arrow of Kurnos. As we're conquering the map, some enemy lords retake our castles and towns, but our lords do a good job of retaking them. They form their own armies with sometimes quite a few troops, and they are definitely helpful as I play the most brutal and drawn out game of whack-a-mole I've ever played. Every once in a while, I'll recruit a bunch more lords and give them territory that we've conquered, and it looks really funny when I recruit a bunch at a time. They're sent out like little baby fishes and they attack anything they see as a group. Lots of the time they do get taken out, but eventually they end up at their territory and they start building themselves up in strength. We're now on day 726 and we have a whopping 40 clans. Each clan has at least 1 castle and a lot of them have multiple. And you would think with all those clans we'd have more than 4 armies running around the map. Like if you just look at how much territory we have, the fact that we only have what like 2k units on the field or 2500 doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Like I just took out an army of 1,000, and then I took out an army of like 600 more in this area in the northwest, and they don't even have much territory left. At this point, we've also captured 300 enemy lords, and I was thinking about seeing if our lords could finish capturing the rest of the map. What is kind of annoying though is a certain time after we capture a castle or town, I have to decide who gets it, and the people supported in this decision, I believe, are usually the ones who took the castle or town. It's just annoying because I wish there was an option to just automatically decide who gets the town or castle, and there's actually this option to advocate leadership, and we can decide who is going to be the next leader. Maybe they can decide who gives the castles and towns over to people. I would give it to the vampires, but quite frankly, I just don't trust the vampires. I trust Tavern Idiot too in this hypothetical scenario. I simulate the game for quite a while. What is this, like a full in-game year? And our lords managed to pick up like 2 or 3 castles or towns. They're pretty freaking hopeless. With me and the vampire army on the field, I got way more done in 8 less days. And you can see we've captured everything on the map. And I actually want to zoom in and go over the whole map with you guys. I just want to go over the castles. So if we zoom into this point, we can see castles as well. We had to siege every castle and town that you're seeing on the map. And if this does not deserve a freaking like, then I don't know what does. Right now, I'm doing a warband series where I'm doing an incentive if people want to donate for me to capture the entire map. You can see Brass Keep is not actually captured. We're right there, and we're going to capture that in a second. But yeah, I'm doing an incentive to do a full conquest in Warband because it is just a painful grind. And this video did thankfully have a sponsor, so at least it is kind of worth it in that regard. But yeah, I think in these future massive Warband or Bannerlord videos, if I'm gonna do full conquest, there's gonna be a sponsor in it. And if you guys can, not only like the video and, you know, drop a comment, maybe check out the sponsor if it's not too much trouble. I left Brass Keep for last because it seems like an interesting siege. It's got 2,200 defenders, and there was a similar siege in the Vampire Lands where there was like 2k Blood Knight melee units, but it was such an easy siege that I didn't think it was really all that necessary to show. This one is probably going to be easy as well. These militia guys are not looking too terrifying. And we got Piscius the Dung-Tongued. I've seen this guy a few times. I really like his name, and I really like his portrait as well. He's just a beautiful man. And yeah, as I thought, this is a very unique siege. I've not seen any castle layouts like this one where it's looking all barren and stuff, and just like the whole aesthetic of it is very unique. I don't anticipate we're gonna have too much trouble. The main thing I want to show off is our vampire lords and how much destruction they can lay down. With like 7 or 8 vampire lords, they do crazy AoE. I think we have to get a bit closer. I retreated and came back to try to figure out what the issue was. And I think because we're outnumbered so hard, our vampire lords are not even on the field yet. Because you can see, yeah, they're not getting any kills. Normally they just be getting tons of kills. And okay, I retreated again. We outnumber them 1850 to 250. Now I'm seeing we have vampire troops on the field. And yeah, on the right hand side, you can see just chaos is being rained down, and the vampire lords actually can cast without line of sight. It's kind of a little bit crazy. The AoE is going like behind the walls though. Yeah, I think that's actually it. That was such a quick battle, and that's how a lot of my sieges have been going with the vampire lords in our army. Now for the magic moment, I think we've captured every single fief on the map. Is there anything special that happens is the question. We'll take this guy prisoner, of course, as usual. There's no option to make him join us probably. Why would there be? We've captured everything on the map. And also our gold supply really quick. I gave us 10 million, but it has steadily gone up, and I've not been looting anything from these battles. I've just been skipping on all the loot. We are getting 60,000 from our settlement income, which is more than our garrison and party expenses. So in total, we're gaining 11k per day, which is not much considering we own the entire world basically. But yeah, that's it. I don't think there's anything special for capturing the entire world. I think you just get the satisfaction of knowing that you wasted many hours of your life with very little enjoyment. Like there was nothing that we were doing that was really, you know, improving our strength that much. At a certain point, you know, when you have like half the map, you would think some factions would come to you and be like, hey, I want to join you or something. None of that happened. It was just, you know, keep conquering the map until you conquered everything. The only thing left is some hideouts, camps, and stuff like that, but I don't consider those necessary. They can just hide out forever. And yeah. Really quickly, we can check what our stats were at the very end. We were not getting skill ups for pretty much anything for a long time, except for engineer. We have been getting engineer slowly over time. And then some of our companions that have been with us forever. Minotaur 1 is capped out at 1,000 bow skill, I guess. And then Stagnite 1 as well. He's been with us since pretty much the very beginning. I don't know who this girl is. Knight of the Realm 1 has also been with us for a long time. And they're getting crazy riding and athletics. I didn't even know that they were getting so much athletic skill. And their HP is crazy on some of these guys. It's just the ones that have been with us forever though. Like we keep going down the list. Okay, we're seeing a lot of athletics here. Yeah, Okay, the Minotaurs have crazy athletics. What the heck? That perk is giving his Minotaur on average around 800 HP. And the reason why they have so much athletics is because they've been walking around the map this entire time. They cannot ride mounts. So yeah, that's why their HP is so crazy. And then Ancient Treeman 1 is the Treeman that's been with us the longest. His HP is actually not doing that good right now because of Unbound. I guess our Forest Harmony is not good because I've been bringing around a bunch of Dryads. Yeah, we have 120 Dryads in the party, which is making us have crazy upkeep for Forest Harmony. Ancient Treeman 1 should have about 3,400 HP, I think, if my math is correct, with the help of his athletics being crazy because, again, he's been walking so much. And yeah, I think that's about it for the game. Again, I want to give a big shout out to War Thunder for making videos like this possible. If you want to support the channel, use my link below to give you a bonus pack available for PC and console to get a nice start in the game. And really quick, I've been doing a Warband series on my second channel and uploading other content there, so check that out if you want.